which leads to the BJP headquarters. So massive action happening on that particular stretch. You have all the Aam Aadmi Party top leaders, protesting today, and Sanjay Singh, the Aam Aadmi Party MP, is the one who's leading the protest today. Now remember, on 27th of February, when the AAP took the streets across the country, there were questions as to whether Aam Aadmi Party was able to protest the way it should have in the national capital. And today they have removed those doubts, with all the MLAs from different parts of the national capital gearing up today with their workers and supporters. And Aam Aadmi Party MP Sanjay Singh himself taking the charge, taking the lead, trying to break the barricades. They have climbed the barricades. So you will see a range of leaders from the national capital who have mounted these barricades which have been placed to stop these Aam Aadmi Party workers from reaching out to the national headquarters of the BJP. So what we can see from here is it is Sanjay Singh on the barricades, Jarnail Singh, AAP MLA, is on the barricades, Praveen Kumar, Amanatullah Khan. All these MLAs are on the barricades. Even the women wing protesters, the office bearers are on the barricades. And a couple of minutes back, they were trying to break the barricades to reach out to the BJP headquarters. And the big question that is coming out today, Akshata, is that why this show of strength today on the day when Manish Sisodia is being produced in the court a few meters from here, and possibly the only possible response to that question is that because on 27th of February the crowd turn up at the AAP headquarters was not to the extent one would have expected, and today they are clearing all those doubts. It is show of strength, definitely, where you have all the important office bearers of Aam Aadmi Party trying to break the barricades, climbing the barricades, trying to reach to the BJP headquarters. And now MP Sanjay Singh is addressing the Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas, and constantly the Delhi police officials are asking them to vacate the area. What we can also show you is the water cannons have been put on standby, and the additional forces are being called in to make sure that these AAP Karyakartas are not able to break the barricades. आप लोग बीजेपी मुख्यालय की तरफ कूच करने की कोशिश क्यों कर रहे हैं?
हम मोदी सरकार का विरोध कर रहे हैं कि मोदी सरकार तानाशाही कर रही है, बिगैर बात के झूठे केस बना के हमारे मंत्रियों को फंसा रही है। इसलिए हम बीजेपी के खिलाफ प्रदर्शन कर रहे हैं और बैरिकेडिंग तोड़ के आगे चल रहे हैं।
27 तारीख को प्रदर्शन ठीक से नहीं हो पाया, इस वजह से इस तरह का विरोध।
ऐसा कुछ नहीं, प्रदर्शन तो होते रहते हैं, कभी बड़ी संख्या में होता है, कभी छोटी संख्या में होता है, प्रदर्शन होते रहते हैं, लेकिन आज बहुत बड़ा प्रदर्शन है।
And Akshata, if you would look at these placards that these supporters, AAP supporters have gathered here with, it essentially has Manish Sisodia's pictures, Manish Sisodia Tujhe Salam, Shiksha Mantri Tujhe Salam. So posters like that in hands of many AAP Karyakartas who have assembled here, protesting, trying to breach the barricades, trying to reach out to the BJP headquarters. So massive confrontation between AAP workers and Delhi police yet again, a week after Manish Sisodia was arrested by the CBI. The CBI is going to produce him in the Rouse Avenue court, and even the Rouse Avenue court is barely a few meters from here. But we are given to understand that many of these Karyakartas could again try to break the barricades. What we can see is AAP MLA Ajay Dutt is also here. क्या बीजेपी मुख्यालय जाने की कोशिश आप लोगों की बरकरार रहेगी?
देखिए, ये प्रदर्शन है मोदी की गलत नीतियों के खिलाफ होती है। केंद्र सरकार ने मनीष जी को फर्जी केस में बांध डाला है, उसके खिलाफ पूरे कार्यकर्ताओं में विरोध है और यहाँ पे पुलिस ने बैरिकेड लगा रखे हैं। तो इसको देखिए किस तरीके से धक्का मुक्की का।
Delhi police pushing many of these MLAs who are sitting on the barricades, asking them to get down of the barricades, and this is constantly happening at the Delhi Deen Upadhyay Marg, where you see the Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas trying to disbalance the barricades. On the other side, right there, another Karyakarta trying to mount the barricades, and they are being pushed down from the other side by the Delhi police jawans. Delhi police is constantly requesting right here, you could see the security forces, the para forces who have been deployed here, asking the AAP Karyakartas to vacate the barricades, to get down of the barricades, and constantly this, pushback is happening where AAP Karyakartas and Netas are not ready to listen to the instructions of the Delhi police forces. I'll try to show you the visuals from the other end of the protest as well, to show you as to how even the women Karyakartas are participating in this protest right now. This is surely the protest being staged by Aam Aadmi Party is surely in bigger numbers today. They have gathered here in larger numbers in comparison to what happened on 27th of Feb. And right here, you have many of these Karyakartas sitting on a dharna of sorts, raising slogans against the BJP government, against the BJP. And out there, what we can see is Amanatullah Khan has gotten down of the barricades and he has sought with the Karyakartas as well here. Again a pushback coming from the Delhi police, asking these volunteers, MLAs to get down of these barricades. They are being pushed from the other side. The other side of this lane is where the BJP's national headquarters is located. And out here, you have many of these AAP Karyakartas, AAP MLAs sitting on dharna, councillors sitting on dharna. The last time around, we had seen that there were massive protests all across the country. But the Delhi protest was something, there were many questions being asked as to why Aam Aadmi Party failed to stage a massive protest, do a massive show of strength. But today, the MLAs from all across Delhi have been called. This is the entire stretch where, these are the barricades put up by Delhi police to stop them. You can see the water cannons which have been put on standby. And the entire area is filled with the AAP workers. Even on the other side, on the left-hand side, at Rouse Avenue is the Aam Aadmi Party's national headquarters, and you can see the AAP workers staging protests out here. आप लोग धरने पे बैठे हुए हैं, दिल्ली पुलिस जगह को खाली करने के लिए कह रही है। धरने पे बैठे हैं, पुलिस कह रही है इस जगह को खाली करने के लिए।
क्यों खाली करें? हमारे मनीष जी को छोड़ दें, हम चले जाएंगे। हमारी मांग पूरी कर दें, मनीष सिसोदिया को रिहा कर दें, हम जगह खाली कर देंगे।
क्या मांग है आप लोगों की? क्या मांग?
हम मनीष जी को रिहा करवाना चाह रहे हैं, हमारे निर्दोष मंत्री जी को, शिक्षा मंत्री को, जो इतना अच्छा कार्य कर रहे थे।
कानूनी लड़ाई तो आप लड़ ही रहे हैं ना अभी कोर्ट में,
लेकिन कोर्ट में इनके खिलाफ कोई सबूत मिला नहीं है ना। अब बिना
बेल की एप्लीकेशन आपने डाली है, फिर विरोध प्रदर्शन
बेल मिल जाती है, ये जज का तबादला करा देते हैं।
बीजेपी हेडक्वार्टर क्यों जाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं?
हम अपनी आवाज सत्ता के गलियारों तक लेकर जाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं।
Right there, constantly slogans being raised against the BJP in favor of Aam Aadmi Party, in favor of Manish Sisodia. So clearly another show of strength being done by AAP Karyakartas, AAP workers at the Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Marg, and constantly they are making efforts to reach out to the BJP headquarters. But what appears now is that many of them have gotten down of the barricades. They are sitting on dharna right now. And on the other side, barely a few meters away, barely 200 meters away from here, is Manish Sisodia, former Delhi Deputy Chief Minister. He has reached the Rouse Avenue Court, and the CBI CBI's 5-day custody of Manish Sisodia ends today. Manish Sisodia has been already brought to the Rouse Avenue Court, and today Manish Sisodia's lawyers will push for his bail. And I have asked Aam Aadmi Party MLAs, I have asked Aam Aadmi Party legal team, as you heard Somnath Bharti saying, that they are going to push a similar ground that they had put forward in front of the Supreme Court. They want to say that investigation is going on for a year now, and no concrete evidence have been found by the CBI or the investigative agencies against Manish Sisodia. So they are going to put forward the similar arguments that they had given in the Supreme Court. And along with that, they are also going to argue that there is no flight risk as far as Mr. Sisodia is concerned. So why arrest him? The major argument by AAP is going to be the fact.
Let's focus on that. Amit, stay with us as in fact Amit tracks what's happening at the AAP headquarters. We have Milind Sharma live with us from the CBI headquarters. Anisha Mathur, who's getting us the latest updates right now from the Rouse Avenue Court. Anisha, has the hearing begun? What's the update coming in from the court?
पेशी की शुरुआत हो जाएगी तो उसको लेकर
Well, the hearing in the liquor scam case has begun. The Manish Sisodia bail matter will be heard a little later. There are, remember, multiple accused in this liquor scam case, and right now, the Rajesh Joshi bail plea, who is one of the co-accused, who has been accused of being part of this entire conspiracy, his matter is being heard. He is in ED custody in this particular matter, and at this moment, what we are getting from my colleague Kanu Sharda, who's inside the courtroom, is that the judge has arrived in the courtroom. The Rajesh Joshi matter is going to be taken up first. After that, Manish Sisodia's case will be taken up. Remember, this particular case has multiple accused who are currently in custody of the ED and the CBI. The ED, in fact, I should, for the benefit of our viewers, the ED has so far charge sheeted 14 persons, including 11 companies, as well as having arrested about 4 people who are not exactly named in the charge sheet. As far as the CBI is concerned, 7 people who have been charge sheeted were arrested and currently on bail, including Vijay Nair, Samir Mahendru, Abhishek Boinpalli and others. Buchi Babu Gorantla and Manish Sisodia, both who are under arrest, have not so far been charge sheeted by the CBI, but they are under arrest and under investigation. So there are a lot of people involved in this particular case. In fact, the agencies have been saying that their investigation is not complete so far. There will be further charge sheets, there will be further arrests in this particular matter. So right now the court has started the hearing in the Rajesh Joshi matter. They will be taking up the Manish Sisodia case also very shortly. But the liquor scam case in toto, Akshita, we've been seeing there have been multiple arrests. There are allegations against Aam Aadmi Party senior leaders. There are allegations against the excise department officials. There have been allegations against various liquor companies. There have been allegations against political persons from different states in the country. The CBI and the ED have said that they are looking into further the money trails, where that money was.
Okay, Anisha, just stay with me. Let's get you, in fact, reactions, live reactions from Sanjay Singh right now.
मनीष सिसोदिया की रिहाई की मांग को लेकर आज यहाँ पर ये प्रोटेस्ट है। हमारे कार्यकर्ता यहाँ इकट्ठा हुए हैं और हमारा एक ही कहना है कि हम तानाशाही और गुंडागर्दी के आगे नहीं झुकेंगे। आज अडानी के घोटालों पर कोई कार्रवाई नहीं हो रही है। लाखों करोड़ का घोटाला उसने किया, कोयला चोरी की, बिजली चोरी किया, उस पर ये सरकार कार्रवाई नहीं करती। यहाँ डंडा चलाने के लिए और सीबीआई ईडी का दुरुपयोग करने के लिए।
So reaction coming in there from AAP, Sanjay Singh. This protest that you see on your screens is just meters away from the Rouse Avenue court. This is in fact on the DDU Marg in Delhi, where the AAP headquarters is. Right next to that is the BJP headquarters, and right down the road is the Rouse Avenue court, where Manish Sisodia has currently been produced and where the hearing is expected to begin in just a few moments from now. The hearing in this case has begun, as Anisha told us, but as far as Sisodia's bail matter is concerned, that's going to come up next in the court. So we'll have to see what really emerges, but clear at this point that AAP is in fact demanding the release of Sisodia. Let's cut across to reactions that are coming in. And before that, Amit Bharadwaj is joining us live from the AAP headquarters. Amit, take us through what's happening there. You know, you were telling us how this is just meters away from where the hearing is happening, where Manish Sisodia is currently. You know, there were a lot of questions asked of the AAP as to why days after Sisodia was taken into custody by the CBI, they chose to ensure his resignation. When for the last 8 months or so, Satyendra Jain was behind bars and a resignation was never sought. So there were questions about whether the party was trying to distance itself from this entire controversy, but that's clearly not the case, seeing what's happening behind you.
Akshata, you know, today definitely Aam Aadmi Party is doing a massive show of strength, and especially on the day Manish Sisodia is being produced in the Rouse Avenue court. I'll show you as to how, you know, things are unfolding right here at Deen Dayal Upadhyay Marg. On this side, This particular lane that you are seeing leads to the Rouse Avenue Court, where Manish Sisodia is sitting right now. He has been brought from the CBI headquarters to the Rouse Avenue Court. So you have police barricades which have been put here to stop the AAP Karyakartas to move forward. However, the entire agenda of the Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas today, what it seems is that...
I just want to give an update to our viewers. Amit, just stay with me. The update that's coming in right now is that the hearing in the Sisodia bail matter has begun in the Rouse Avenue Court before a special CBI judge. Live updates that are coming in from Kanu Sharda, who's inside. The special CBI judge there is asking, do you need an extension? CBI saying Sisodia is not cooperating with the investigation. So that's the big headline that's coming in right now. CBI, Anisha, is saying Sisodia is not cooperating, which is why they want an extension. So they're pushing forward right now to seek additional custody. Okay, we'll go across to Anisha in just a bit. Let me round up for you the latest updates that are coming in. The special CBI judge is asking, why do you need an extension? The CBI is maintaining that Sisodia is not cooperating with the investigation. Now, also importantly here, the CBI saying we can show you how our investigation has progressed. They're mentioning in court saying we've recorded the entire investigation so far. This was mandated by the Rouse Avenue Court. They said that whatever interrogation Sisodia has held, it must be done on camera, on record. So the CBI is saying we have that recording, we have the CD with us, the court can watch it if it pleases. We also have a case diary. So the judge right now is asking for that case diary. The judge is going to go through, in fact, the questioning that's been happening to see if he's not cooperating. The big update that's coming in is that the CBI is seeking 3 days of additional custody. The judge has also asked how many hours has Sisodia been questioned so far. We'll give you what the CBI said in that, but the CBI right now is saying we want 3 days additional custody of Manish Sisodia. So this is the big breaking news that's coming in. Earlier, the CBI had asked for 5 days. They got that particular request. They got 5 days of Sisodia's custody. They're saying that he's not cooperating in the investigation, and that's why now they want an extension. They're saying 3 days of custody is required. Why? The CBI is mentioning right now in court, saying that Sisodia is not cooperating. He is yet to be confronted with other co-accused in this case. There are several others who've been taken into custody in this liquor scam. There's been a trail of money which the CBI, the Enforcement Directorate, is looking into, and they say all of it links to Manish Sisodia. To prove that, the CBI right now in court is saying that we want to confront Sisodia with the other accused. And what's important to highlight here is that time and again the CBI is saying the reason we need 3 more days of custody here is because Sisodia is not cooperating with the investigation. Anisha Mathur is back with us. Anisha, big updates coming in right now from the court. The CBI is seeking 3 more days. They're saying Sisodia is not cooperating. We can provide the case diary to the judge.
Well, yes, Akshita, very serious allegation being raised again by the CBI, saying that Manish Sisodia, who's been in their custody for 5 days, is not in fact cooperating with the investigation, that he has been confronted with the evidence, that they want to also confront him with other accused. And the CBI also raising the allegation that some of the key documents are missing in the case and they need to trace that, and that is why they need continued custody of Manish Sisodia. Remember, this is an allegation that had been raised earlier as well, that some key documents have gone missing, that a lot of the evidence was sought to be destroyed, that there are devices, etc., which were destroyed by the Aam Aadmi Party leaders. Now, my colleague Kanu Sharda is inside and sending us minute-by-minute updates of this hearing. CBI has sought 3 more days custody, where they have said that Sisodia, in fact, wasted a day of questioning because he had gone to the Supreme Court to file his petition that they have to also confront Sisodia with the other accused and try and trace the documents that are missing. So CBI is still raising very serious allegations against Sisodia of trying to hamper the investigation, of trying to destroy documents of the evidence in this particular case, and we'll have to see what the court now says and what the lawyers for Manish Sisodia will have to say about this particular allegation by the CBI, because the CBI is asking for 3 more days of custody for interrogation of Manish Sisodia. The judge, of course, had asked the CBI to explain how many hours has he been interrogated for, what has he exactly said. The CBI has said that we can show you the case diary, we can show you, in fact, the video recording of the inquiry and the interrogation that is there in a form of a CD that is being placed before the court. The case diary, of course, has been handed over to the judge, who is now looking at the evidence that has been collected, the allegations and the investigation that has been done so far. Remember, Special CBI Judge M.K. Nagpal is a very senior judge. He's been handling this particular case for the last several weeks. He has looked at the other evidence also that was brought by the CBI against the other accused in this case as well. So he will be looking at the evidence, at what has been collected by the court. Now, now we're just getting an update from my colleague Kanu, who's inside the courtroom. Senior Advocate Dayan Krishnan, who is the counsel for Manish Sisodia, has started his line of arguments. Dayan Krishnan has said that is now citing precedent judgments to say that you cannot force an accused to give answers to the CBI. They can only be questioned, that there is no progress made by the CBI. The non-cooperation cannot be grounds for remand. That is the argument that is being raised by Manish Sisodia's lawyers. He's saying that you cannot say that we will keep him in custody till he confesses and accepts all allegations. And this Akshata, for the sake of clarity for our viewers, is a basic principle of criminal law in the country. You cannot be forced to give evidence against yourself. You cannot be forced to confess. And that is what the Aam Aadmi Party's lawyers, Senior Advocate Dayan Krishnan, who's the counsel for Manish Sisodia, who's arguing on his behalf, is now telling the court that the CBI has not made any progress and they are only trying to force Sisodia right now, which is against the legal principles, that he cannot be forced to give answers according to what the CBI wants to hear. You cannot you cannot keep somebody in custody just because they are not giving you exactly what you want to hear, and that is the line of argument that is being taken by Sisodia's lawyers. See, the judge also, by the way, we're getting more updates now from Kanu. So the judge has asked the CBI to disclose who are the persons, who are the co-accused that you want to confront Manish Sisodia with. But the CBI has said that they cannot disclose such information openly in open court with the Sisodia's lawyers and the media present, because this is confidential investigation that is being conducted right now. The judge has asked, however, what exactly do you want to do when you keep Sisodia in further custody? Even Senior Advocate Dayan Krishnan, who is arguing on behalf of Manish Sisodia, is saying that the remand copy that has been given by the CBI does not disclose any information apart from claiming that Manish Sisodia did not cooperate with the investigation, and therefore Sisodia's lawyers are saying that CBI will have to give genuine specific reasons to the court to justify further custody. Remember, he has already been in custody for 5 days. He has also been interrogated earlier as well by the CBI, and therefore his lawyers are now saying that the CBI will have to give specific details of why they want to keep him in further custody, what do they want with him. And the CBI, however, telling the judge that we cannot disclose the persons or the other accused who we want to confront him with, because this is an open court. So we are getting minute by minute updates, Akshita, from my colleague Kanu, who's inside the courtroom. The judge, of course, is looking at the documentation that has been provided by the CBI to Judge M.K. Nagpal. The further updates have come in now. Dayan Krishnan, who's a senior counsel, has pointed out that Manish Sisodia's residence had been raided several months ago, and he is questioning the CBI's stand about documentation going missing. He's saying that my residence, and I'm reading out the update that Kanu Sharda has sent us, that my house was raided months back. How can documents be traced now? I have been out for such a long time after the raids. How can I be kept in police custody like this? There has to be compelling evidence evidence in place to keep him in custody. And however, the judge seems to be accepting the CBI's line of argument that not everything can be written down in the remand application. They'll have to see what else is being said by the CBI. So all in all, very interesting arguments going on inside the courtroom as Manish Sisodia's lawyers argue that the CBI is hiding why they want to keep Sisodia in custody. The CBI is not disclosing what kind of evidence has been found or who are the persons that they want to confront Sisodia with. While the CBI says these are confidential aspects of the investigation, everything cannot be put in the remand application, and that there are other co-accused that they want to confront Manish Sisodia with, and therefore they need 3 more days of custody. We'll have to now wait to see what the judge's response to all of these arguments is going to be. But very clearly the judge is questioning both parties. At one point the judge asked the CBI who exactly are the people you want to confront him with, and on the other side the judge is also pointing out to the lawyers for the accused, for Manish Sisodia, that not everything can be written down in black and white before the court. Some things need to be kept confidential. So the hearing, of course, Akshata, is going on. We are getting updates on a regular basis from my colleague Kanu Sharda, who's inside. But right now, the arguments are ongoing. Now, after Dayan Krishnan, senior advocate Mohit Mathur is also arguing on behalf of Manish Sisodia. He has said that they moved the Supreme Court under Article 32 seeking quashing of the FIR, and it is not that the Supreme Court's order was a setback. It is simply that the Supreme Court had said that alternative remedies are available with us. Remember, the CBI in its arguments just a few minutes ago had said that Manish Sisodia had tried to waste time and delay the questioning by approaching the Supreme Court. His lawyers are now taking the stand that the Supreme Court proceedings were only for quashing of the FIR itself, that the remand order, that the police custody remand was never challenged before the Supreme Court, and therefore the CBI cannot now argue that Manish Sisodia was trying to delay or interfere in these ongoing proceedings or in these or in the ongoing interrogation that has happened right now. So a heated argument is going on inside Akshata as we speak. They are, the Sisodia's lawyers, of course, saying that further remand should not be granted to the CBI, that the CBI has already had him in custody for 5 days, that he has already faced questions, that the CBI had already, in fact, raided his residence and seized all documents. So now they cannot raise the allegation that documents have gone missing. They've also said that order of remand is an exception and not the rule, which basically is their line of argument that just because the CBI is asking for custody does not mean that the court is obliged to grant custody. The court needs to look at all aspects of the investigation. The court needs to look at what has been happening in the investigation so far. They're also saying that further remand should not be granted. Of course, Sisodia's lawyers are opposing the demand for further custodial interrogation of the former Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi, even as the CBI is saying that they need him to be confronted with other accused and with the other evidence that is there in the case. Just I'm going to try and get a comment now. One second. Pradeep ji, idhar aiye, jaldi idhar aiye. We're trying to get a comment now. Menaka Guruswamy, you were one of the other co-accused in the batter bang.
I'm sorry. I have no comments. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. No comments at all.
So Akshata, this was senior advocate Menaka Guruswamy who was arguing on behalf of
Anisha, I'm going to come back to you. Anisha getting us the live updates right now from the Rouse Avenue court. She's been breaking down in great detail what's really playing out, what's the CBI's argument, what's been Sisodia's legal argument as well. At this point, I want to bring in Munish Pandey as well, who tracks the agencies for us. Munish, what's clear is that the CBI hasn't been satisfied with the interrogation of Sisodia, how it's gone through in the last 5 days. And that's why, as we speak in the Rouse Avenue court, they're saying give us 3 more days. Sisodia wasted 1 day because of the Supreme Court case. We need 3 days to confront him with other accused.
It was expected, Akshita, as far as the CBI is concerned, it was very much expected that they will be asking for extension of custody because sources were telling India Today that 5 days were not enough as far as the interrogation of Mr. Manish Sisodia is concerned. Remember, there are two important points which the CBI has made before the court. One is that Manish Sisodia was not cooperative during the investigation, and second is that they want to confront Manish Sisodia with other accused in the case. Now, as far as the confrontation of Manish Sisodia is concerned, we have been given to understand is that there are some officials with whom the CBI wants to confront Manish Sisodia. Every day during the questioning, he was questioned till 8 p.m. every day apart from one day when he had approached the Supreme Court. But on the other days, what CBI is telling that when they were asking him about the deleted files of excise policy, the draft copy of excise policy, Manish Sisodia hasn't been answering. Apart from that, when he was asked about why the draft copy was shared with the businessman, the liquor businessman in this case, he has not given any specific answer. There was also a question raised about the second draft copy, which was deleted from a computer. The CBI has got it through their forensic experts, but as far as Manish Sisodia is concerned, he has not given any concrete answer. So there are multiple things which the CBI suspects that Manish Sisodia has an answer, because he was the one who was heading the ministry at that point of time. He was the excise minister. But as far as Manish Sisodia is concerned, he is giving the answers which the CBI is not satisfied with. Now, as far as Manish Sisodia's lawyer are concerned, they are saying that CBI can't force anyone to give answer which they want to hear. But as far as the CBI is concerned, they are saying that they have some concrete evidence in the case. And when Manish Sisodia is not giving a concrete answer, they are confronting him with those documentary and digital evidences, but he is being evasive during the questioning, and that is why they need 3 days of more custody as far as Manish Sisodia is concerned. Akshita.
Custody is what CBI is currently seeking of Manish Sisodia, and the CBI is saying that that's because they want to confront him with the accused. Who are these accused? The CBI doesn't want to mention. They're saying that that's something that's confidential. We can't give those details right now. And they're only saying that we have more investigation to really take this forward. Manish, 3 days is what the CBI is seeking. But in this very hearing, are we expecting the Enforcement Directorate to also make an intervention and say we want Sisodia's custody too? Or will that come up now 3 days later?
Well, today it is not going to happen. ED will wait for Manish Sisodia to be sent into judicial custody, and then only they will approach the court for his custody, arrest and then custody. Now, as far as CBI and ED is concerned, both the agencies are in touch with each other, and today CBI is very confident that they are getting custody of Mr. Manish Sisodia. They will be getting extension in the custody of Mr. Manish Sisodia, and that is why ED will not be filing an application after 3 days. If CBI doesn't need the custody, then the moment he is sent to judicial custody, ED will be filing an application and they will take Manish Sisodia in their custody on the grounds that there is the need of custodial interrogation. So as far as the entire process is concerned, even we are talking about whether it is jail or bail for Mr. Manish Sisodia. Now it is going to be extremely difficult for Mr. Sisodia to get bail. First, he has to secure bail in CBI case. That is little bit easier in comparison to ED's case, because remember, CBI is driven by Indian Penal Code, IPC. Few of the accused who were arrested by CBI in the very same case, including Vijay Nair and Samir Mendru, they got bail from the CBI court in the CBI case. But as far as ED case is concerned, no one has been able to secure bail in ED's case. And that is going to be extremely difficult even for Manish Sisodia, because remember, not only CBI, but the Enforcement Directorate is also claiming that they have concrete evidence against Manish Sisodia. And once he is in their custody, to secure bail in ED custody, it takes months. Even if you remember P. Chidambaram's example, when he was arrested by CBI and later by ED, he had to spend almost 109 days before he came out on bail from the Tihar jail. So it is going to be extremely difficult even for Manish Sisodia. So the agencies are very confident that for few months Manish Sisodia is going to be behind the bars.
Okay, so this is going to be a long fight for Sisodia. He's in it for the long haul based on what Manish is telling us. I want to take this back across to Anisha Mathur, who's getting us the live updates from Rouse Avenue Court. Sisodia's legal team currently arguing, and what's interesting to see right now is once again they've raised the issue of Sisodia's wife, saying, referring to her health condition, Anisha.
My colleague Kanu has been sending us updates from inside the courtroom, and it is a very interesting line of argument that is being taken by Sisodia's lawyers. They're saying that his wife has been in a vegetative state. Her health condition is precarious, and therefore Sisodia should not be
precarious, and therefore Sisodia should not be kept in custody for a long period because he is also required to take care of his wife. Secondly, what they are saying is that the CBI has to give specific reasons for seeking extension of custody, which has not been done. What will change really in 72 hours? That has not happened in the last 96 hours. That's the line of argument that is being taken right now. But a very, very interesting human angle to these arguments that has been raised is the health condition of Mr. Manish Sisodia's wife. They have said that she has been suffering for the past 20 years, and that is an aspect that should be taken into account by the agencies and by the court, that Mr. Sisodia cannot be kept in custody for a long period because he is required to also take care of his wife. That's a human angle to the arguments that are being raised. But now the bail application has also been mentioned before the court. The senior advocate Mohit Mathur has informed the court that they have moved a bail petition and have sought release of Manish Sisodia from arrest, now that the detailed arguments with regard to the remand application have already been heard by the court. So we will see further arguments going on this issue in the next few minutes, which our colleague Kanu is going to be updating us every minute by minute. The legal team of Manish Sisodia is trying to raise both legal principles and human concerns, humanitarian concerns as far as Manish Sisodia's release is concerned. They have attacked the CBI for not for not being able to complete their investigation. They've attacked the CBI on the grounds that Sisodia's house had been raided earlier, that all documentation is already with the CBI, and at the same time they have raised the the heart-wrenching argument regarding Mr. Sisodia's wife and her health condition. So we are seeing both lines of argument continuing before the court. The judge right now is looking at the case diary. He's looking at the documentation that has been submitted by the CBI to the judge. Now remember, the case diary as the confidential document can be shown by the judge. The details of the investigation are in the case diary, which are not actually there in the remand application. There are several details that are put in the case diary which are not actually spoken out loud in the courtroom in a public forum, which is actually considered a public forum. So the arguments that Sisodia's lawyers have raised, that the remand application does not give specific reasons for seeking further custody of Sisodia, that is something that could be there in the case diary. It is possible that the CBI may have put some things in the case diary that are not available in the remand application that is publicly shared with the lawyers of the defense, with the defense lawyers. So we'll have to wait for further updates from Kanu Sharda, who's inside the courtroom. At this moment, a very interesting line of argument by Sisodia's lawyers that his custody is not required, that he has already cooperated with the investigation, that all documentation was seized by the CBI months ago, and now after several months they cannot now raise the argument that some documents are missing, because everything that was seized by the CBI in a raid several months ago, and Sisodia was not arrested at the time when these raids were conducted, and that is the argument that is being raised by his lawyers now, that his liberty is at stake. We're getting breaking updates now. Akshita, my colleague Kanu has just sent in an update saying that Sisodia's bail application will be heard on the 10th of March at 2 p.m. This is information that is just coming in. Kanu Sharda, who's inside the courtroom, has just sent in a message saying that the bail application will be taken up on March 10 at 2 p.m. This is breaking news coming in. CBI has been asked to file a reply to Manish Sisodia's bail application. So it is very clear that at this stage at least, Manish Sisodia will not be released at this moment. Of course, his bail application will be heard now on the 10th of March. We'll have to wait and see what the court will say about the custody application. The court has reserved its verdict on the CBI's application seeking 3 days further custody.
So what does this mean,
of
Anisha?
Manish Sisodia.
What does this mean?
And now,
Considering that Sisodia, the bail plea comes up only on March 10th, the order on Sisodia has been reserved, will come out in the next 30 to 45 minutes. If the court even goes ahead and grants the CBI's request of 3 days of custody till March 10th, his bail plea doesn't come up.
well, definitely, Akshita. So now, see, today is the 5th. Today is the 5th of. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Today is the 4th of March. 3 days custody will mean 5th, 6th, and 7th, which means that on the 6th he will now be brought to the. I beg your pardon. I apologize for the messing up the dates. Today is the 4th.
Yeah.
He will therefore have to, if the CBI gets 3 days custody, he will then be brought back to court on the 7th. However, if the CBI does not get custody, then Manish Sisodia will be sent to judicial custody, which means that he will be sent to the Tihar jail as soon as his police custody remand ends, because his bail petition will now be heard only on the 10th of March. In the meantime, if Manish Sisodia is sent to judicial custody and not to the CBI's police custody, then the ED may also step in and ask for custodial interrogation, because as Manish was explaining to you just a few minutes ago, when somebody is in custody of one particular agency, the second agency will not take custody at the same time. But as soon as the custody remand of the CBI ends, then the ED can also ask for custody. So a lot of things remain up in the air for Manish Sisodia. The judgment of the court on his further custody will come out in about 30 to 40 minutes. Till then, we can only speculate on what the avenues really are. One, of course, being that the CBI gets 3 days custody, and at the end of those 3 days, then the CBI could seek further custody also, because the bail plea will now only be heard on 10th March. The second line, of course, would be that even if the CBI does get custody for 3 more days, at the end of those 3 days, Manish Sisodia will go to Tihar jail under judicial custody till his bail application is heard and decided by the court. The third avenue, of course, being that the court denies police custody to the CBI and sends Manish Sisodia to judicial custody, in which case he will be sent to Tihar jail to await his bail plea hearing. But in that situation, the ED also could step in and seek custody of custodial interrogation of Manish Sisodia. These all the 4 lines of can play out in the future. We'll have to wait for the next 30 to 40 minutes to find out what the decision of the court is going to be. Whether he will go into CBI custody, whether he goes to jail, whether he goes to the ED. In any case, till the 10th of March, when the bail plea is heard, Manish Sisodia will remain either in judicial custody or police custody.
So the big takeaway is, even as we're waiting for the order from the Rouse Avenue court on whether the CBI gets those 3 additional days of custody or not, there's going to be no relief for Sisodia for the next 1 week, because his bail plea won't come up for hearing till March 10th. That means there'll be no relief in sight for the next 6 days at least. Munish Pandey is also with us for more on this. So Munish, the CBI, we're yet to hear, of course, from the court on whether the CBI gets those 3 days additional custody. But at this point, whether Sisodia goes into the CBI custody, whether he goes into judicial custody, it's only a matter of finding out about that technicality. Either way, there's no relief for him.
There's no relief for Manish Sisodia at least till 10th of March.
Yeah.
And as far as CBI is concerned, I spoke to certain officials. They are claiming that they are very confident of getting the extension in Manish Sisodia's custody, which means that they'll wait for the court order, but they are expecting that the court order will come in their favor. As far as, these dates are concerned, Akshita, this will become extremely important as far as Manish Sisodia's bail is concerned. Because remember, even if CBI gets the custody, the bail application will only be heard on 10th of March, and in all possibility CBI can go to Tihar jail if he is sent to judicial custody, arrest him and then take custody from the court, because they are within their rights to arrest Mr. Manish Sisodia after questioning. Now, as far as CBI's strategy is concerned, they are planning that they will get extension today and later they will confront Manish Sisodia with certain accused in the case. And remember, there are at least 8 to 10 accused who have been arrested by CBI or ED or both the agencies. As far as there are excise officials, they are extremely important, because remember, one of the officer has given a statement against Manish Sisodia under Section 164 of CRPC.
Okay, Manish, just stay with me. Let's get reactions. Anisha Mathur tracking those updates.
लोकसभा चुनाव में जिस तरह से जोधपुर की जनता ने देश की जनता को जिस तरह से नरेंद्र मोदी जी को प्रधानमंत्री बनाना.
Okay, so that is Minister Gajendra Shekhawat currently speaking on another issue. So we'll cut across live and we get reactions on this story that we're currently tracking. Munish, my apologies for cutting you short earlier, but you were explaining to us how there's no relief. Another aspect I want to focus on is that the CBI on record has said now, Munish, that there were files that are missing in this case.
Yes, that is true, Akshita. And as far as those files are concerned, there were certain draft policies which were drafted according to the Central Bureau of Investigation by Mr. Manish Sisodia and certain other people of Aam Aadmi Party on 18th and 19th March at the residence of Mr. Manish Sisodia in the presence of Arvind Kejriwal and Satyendra Jain. The policy was drafted, but the second draft policy, which was even shared with the stakeholders in the case, that is the South Group, other accused in the case, that file was deleted. Now, Central Bureau of Investigation has claimed that they have been able to retrieve some of the files from the deleted, that hard disk, but some of the files are still missing, and they are seeking help of Manish Sisodia in locating that file, tracing that file. It becomes an evidence because remember, as far as Manish Sisodia is concerned, he is claiming that he has not done anything wrong, but CBI is saying that they have a money trail. If they were not giving any favors, then why there was a kickback of 100 crore rupees from the South Group? Why this advance payment of 100 crore rupees? It was only because the policy was being drafted in a way which the South Group wanted, in which K. Kavita, the daughter of KCR, Telangana CM, is already under scanner of Central Bureau of Investigation. As far as Manish Sisodia is concerned, there was a humanitarian ground by the lawyers, before the court for seeking bail. But the CBI is hopeful of getting the custody, and ED in high possibility. Before 10th of March, ED will take Manish Sisodia's custody. They will try to keep Manish Sisodia for the next 14 days. And after that, it will be extremely difficult for Manish Sisodia to get bail. Because remember, in CBI, the CBI cannot force Mr. Manish Sisodia to give answers. And Manish Sisodia has a power not to disclose the truth or not to disclose what the CBI want to hear. But ED, the onus is on the accused to prove that a person is innocent. So it will be on Manish Sisodia's, it will be Manish Sisodia who has to prove that I am innocent, and it becomes extremely difficult for any accused to, defend himself before any agency like the Enforcement Directorate, because ED claims they have a money trail linking Vijay Nair to the South Group and other accused in the case. So in all possibility, Manish Sisodia might have to stay behind the bars for more days. Akshita.
Okay, so the breaking update that's coming in right now is that there's no immediate relief for Manish Sisodia. Next 6 days, he remains, in fact, in custody, essentially, because his bail plea won't be heard until then. Now it's a matter of finding out whether he'll be in CBI custody or judicial custody in this particular case. 3 days additional CBI custody has been sought. In the next 30 to 45 minutes, we're expecting an order on that front. Anisha Mathur is getting us the latest updates right now from the Rouse Avenue Court. Important to also highlight here, Anisha, that as far as Sisodia's arguments are concerned, he's again highlighted how his wife is unwell, how he needs to be there to take care of her, and how essentially, bail is the rule, jail is the exception. That is something that his legal team has highlighted.
Akshita, the hearing, of course, is now concluded inside the court of Special Judge M.K. Nagpal. The arguments on Manish Sisodia's by Manish Sisodia's legal team have been that there is no reason to keep him inside the jail, that there is no reason to keep him in custody because all the documentation is already with the CBI, that he's also already undergone interrogation in this particular case. And we can see a lot of police personnel are now coming outside of outside the Rouse Avenue Court. I'm going to ask Pradeep to pan and show you a lot of people. The police is coming out. The co-accused in this particular case are being brought out. These are the people who are already in custody of the CBI and the ED. You can see the police arrangement that is there, that is here in the I am just going to show you the police arrangement that is there in outside the Rouse Avenue court. And of course, Manish Sisodia's legal team making the argument that he should be granted bail, that he should not, the custody should not be extended because the CBI has not been able to give specific reasons for keeping him in custody. They've also raised legal principles saying that bail, not jail, is the legal principle, that there has to, that you cannot force someone to answer the CBI's question according to what the CBI wants to hear, that you cannot keep somebody in custody till they in fact give you what you want. You cannot force somebody to give evidence against themselves. All of these are the legal principles that were raised by Sisodia's legal team. Senior Advocate Dayan Krishnan, Senior Advocate Mohit Mathur, both of them gave detailed arguments, even as the CBI through its special prosecutor had argued that there is need for custodial interrogation of Manish Sisodia to continue in this particular case. So in just a short while, we should find out more about what the final decision of the court has been, because the court is going to pass its order in about 30 odd minutes. He has reserved his verdict. Special CBI Judge M.K. Nagpal has reserved his verdict after hearing both sides of the argument. In fact, the judge has also looked at the case diary. He has also looked at the confidential information that was put before him by the CBI regarding the course of their investigation. So all of that will be considered, and very shortly, in about half an hour or so, we are expecting that the verdict will come. However, as we have been discussing, even if CBI does not get custody of Manish Sisodia at this stage, even if the CBI does not get the 3-day custody that they have sought for, Manish Sisodia will not be walking home from Rouse Avenue Court today. He will have to wait till the 10th of March when his bail plea is heard by the court, and if his bail plea is decided in his favor. At the same time, as Manish was just pointing out, the ED is also likely to seek his custody in the meantime. If the CBI does not get custody, there is a chance that the ED may also seek Manish Sisodia's custody. Either way, it is a long road ahead for Manish Sisodia, former Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi, as he has been arrested in the liquor excise policy case with the CBI claiming that they are tracing evidence of kickbacks received by leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party for changing the liquor policy specifically to benefit certain liquor cartels.
What's very clear right now is that there's no relief whatsoever for Manish Sisodia right now coming in from the court. His bail plea comes up for hearing next on March 10th. But what we're waiting to find out is whether CBI gets their way. They want 3 days of custody additionally. But Manish, if you were tracking really all the arguments that happened, Sisodia's legal team also said this. They said in 5 days, they couldn't achieve anything. The CBI couldn't achieve anything in the investigation. What are they going to achieve over 72 hours? Why is it that the CBI wants 3 more days, Manish? Is it only to go ahead and confront Sisodia with other accused, who, by the way, the CBI refused to name in court?
Well, Akshita, these are arguments and counter-argument by the lawyers of Mr. Manish Sisodia. As far as the CBI is concerned, what they are claiming that out of 5 days, they were able to question Mr. Manish Sisodia every day till 8 p.m. That is almost 8 hours of questioning every day. Now, in those 8 hours, Manish Sisodia was asked multiple times regarding the excise policy, regarding the changes in the draft policy, and also regarding the deleted files of the excise policy draft. Now, the CBI sources have told India Today that Manish Sisodia is not giving any concrete answer. He is aware of certain facts, but he is not disclosing it before the agencies. On the other side, what the lawyers are saying that you want Mr. Manish Sisodia to say things which you want to hear. That is not how the questioning is done. So the lawyers are saying of Mr. Manish Sisodia that CBI has not achieved anything. But remember, CBI is claiming that they have got certain leads during the questioning of Mr. Manish Sisodia, and that was presented during the case diary before the court. Why this case diary? Because CBI at this point of time, at this stage of investigation, they do not want others to know about their strategy, their plan of questioning Mr. Manish Sisodia, who they are going to confront Mr. Manish Sisodia with. So these are the things which they have mentioned in the case diary.
Okay.
That case diary was shown to judge so that they can get custody of Mr. Manish Sisodia. It will be end of the day on the wisdom of the court that what they decide. But as far as CBI is concerned, what they are claiming that certain evidences have been mentioned in the case diary based on which they are confident that they will be getting extension in the custody of Manish Sisodia.
So let's see what happens in the court. We're expecting that about 3:15 or so, we should have some clarity on which way the court judge will rule, whether the CBI gets those 3 days of additional custody or not. Anisha, Munish, request both of you to stay on with me. We're slipping into a very short break here on India Today. We're continuing to track all the updates that come in from the Rouse Avenue court on the other side, so stay with us.
You are watching India Today.
All successful people worked hard, nothing comes easily.
Sometimes you need to just cross that mental barrier.
Once I come in,
काफी प्रोसेस ओरिएंटेड
stark difference.
मैं जब दोनों मेडल को ले रहा था और मैं बोल रहा था कि दो ही हमारे पास मेडल है इंडिया में और दोनों आज मेरे हाथ में है.
The very fact that you're opening the India Today conclave with a session on Olympic sport tells me that we've made progress.
Karnataka is the only southern state where the Bharatiya Janata Party has ever formed a government. But Karnataka is doubly special for the BJP because Karnataka is the first state where the party formed in 1980 first got the taste of power as the ruler. And if there was one man who played a very crucial role in establishing the BJP in this state, then it had to be B.S. Yedurappa, or BSY, a seasoned and wily politician who would come up with a much discussed political strategy called Operation Lotus. It is no wonder then that every time that the BJP formed a government in Karnataka, it was BSY who became the chief minister till 2021. 4 times the BJP staked its claim to govern Karnataka, and 4 times BSY took the chief minister's oath of office. And 4 times BSY had to resign before he could complete his term. Twice Chief Minister Yedurappa resigned because the BJP could not ensure the confidence of the House. Ironically, the remaining 2 times, Yedurappa had to resign because he himself lost the confidence of the BJP. It was on 26th of July 2021 that 4-time Karnataka Chief Minister announced his resignation. 5 decades in politics, 2 days to 3 years at any one time in the Chief Minister's chair. Many thought that was the end of B.S. Yedurappa. But then on 22nd Feb, when the veteran saffron leader stood up in the Bidhan Sauda and announced that he intends to make it his last speech in the assembly, everyone was stunned. From the speaker to attending meager MLA audience urged him to reconsider the decision and pushed his retirement announcement by a couple of more days. On 24th of Feb, at a houseful Bidhan Sauda, Bukunakare Siddhalingappa Yedurappa announced his retirement from the assembly. His assembly seat of Shikaripura will now go to his son Vijayendra. But that's not the end of the mighty BSY. With this, the 80-year-old shrewd politician of 5 decades have played a master stroke. He has the central leadership at his beck and call and the state leadership looking for his approval. Because the winning card for BJP in the coming assembly election in Karnataka lies with the Lingayat leader alone. And that very card makes him the Lotus King of Karnataka.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
The catchphrase, which we've noticed here at MWC and all around the world since November, I think the last time that we met, has been generative artificial intelligence. Generative AI, ChatGPT being spoken about all over the world. How much of an impact do you think that will have on the workflow on the tech side, on exactly how a tech company operates, on how our jobs will pan out in the next few months?
I am so happy about the generative AI. The reason I'm happy is it's the same way, because we are in Mobile World Congress. I'll give you an example that 95-96, if you remember, India was one of the most highest cost per minute call, and incoming and outgoing both charge 16 rupees a minute. And those blind calls, call me back. I was from that upbringing, and I land in Hong Kong airport. There was this bank of phones, but people were talking on a mobile phone. And I came back and I said, this is an industry you need to be in. The convenience was 10 steps away. People were talking on mobile phones. So what happened? Mobile phone automated the public phone systems.
Correct.
It automated everything that came along. And I don't have to describe to you whether it's a health tech, fintech, media tech, whatever device it is.
Absolute disruptor.
Now, to me, it did not take away jobs, it created jobs. Now, this is exactly what I think about generative AI. That the use cases are there, and the more they get defined, that means more jobs it will create. Technology is the heart of everything.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Well, the weather is certainly chilly here in Barcelona. In fact, it snowed here on day one of the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, something that doesn't usually happen during these days. But this is MWC. It's back, and it's back with a bang. In fact, last year it was subdued, obviously due to the pandemic. Before that, it was postponed and cancelled. But we expected this to be, well, not as grand and extravagant as it has been. Absolutely massive. This is genuinely the biggest, the latest and greatest in tech, all under one massive roof here in Barcelona. Of course, several themes here at MWC. 5G is, well, a theme from the previous years. 6G is being spoken about. And of course, with what's happening with ChatGPT, a lot of the stalls over here are talking about generative AI. And a lot of companies seem to want to really claim ownership of that space, because they're saying that we have solutions in the generative AI space, be it from image, from text. There's all sorts of things happening here at MWC. Of course, there's also smartphone launches. This one being the Xiaomi 13 Pro, something we've been waiting for a long time on Tech Today, actually has a Leica lens on it. Those cameras cost nearly $20,000. You're getting that now on a smartphone. OnePlus has announced a phone with liquid cooling tech. That's a concept phone. These guys also have another concept phone where they have a massive lens attached to it on a 1-inch sensor. And that's not all. There's a 240-watt fast-charging Realme smartphone being announced as well, and all sorts of announcements in the AR, VR, and metaverse space. We thought it would be muted, given that, a lot of these brands haven't really shown up over here over the past couple of years for obvious reasons, but they're back and back with a bang. A huge participation from China, over 150 exhibitors, because restrictions have eased and everyone seems to be keen to come and explore the European markets as well. So much happening on the geopolitical front, and that's why we see increased involvement over here. 80,000 attendees, 2,000 exhibitors here at Mobile World Congress Barcelona 2023. Tech Today is going to be here on day 1, day 2, day 3. We're going to be exploring exactly what's happening at the most influential tech event of the year, so stay tuned.
Watching India Today.
Hello and welcome. You're watching India Today. I'm Akshita Nandagopal. A non-stop focus on what's playing out in the national capital, because it's an action-packed Saturday. Manish Sisodia has been produced in the Rouse Avenue court. No relief for him as his bail plea now comes up for hearing only on March 10th. What exactly does that mean? We're going to be telling you in just a bit. The headlines first. Big blow for Manish Sisodia. Court defers bail plea hearing to March 10th. CBI in court says Sisodia is not cooperating. High drama on streets of Bengaluru. Congress netas stage a massive protest after Bribegate bomb drops on Bommai. Demand Bommai's resignation. Surjewala, Sidramaya among many senior leaders detained. BJP tears into Rahul Gandhi over his Cambridge speech, fires Dinesh Jibe, says he denigrated India on foreign soil. Chilling Umesh Pal murder details. Atik's men threatened him for a piece of land, sought 1 crore rupees as extortion money and killed him because he refused to pay up. Yet another temple attacked in Australia. Lakshmi Narayan temple vandalized in Brisbane by Khalistani supporters. Anti-Modi graffiti on temple walls. Kejriwal has spoken once again on the liquor scam and on the fact that his lieutenant, his trusted right-hand man Sisodia, is in jail. He's actually in Karnataka as part of the AAP's campaign there, and Kejriwal now has drawn a parallel between the Karnataka bribe gate and the liquor scam. Kejriwal saying only 10,000 rupees was found from Sisodia's house. You had 8 crore rupees found at a BJP MLA's son's house, and the ED CBI are not investigating this particular case. So Arvind Kejriwal now drawing a parallel between what's happening in Karnataka and what's happening in Delhi. Let's play out for you first what Kejriwal said.
इसी जिले का अमित शाह जी की पार्टी का एक नेता का बेटा 8 करोड़ रुपए के साथ पकड़ा, अभी तक गिरफ्तार नहीं किया उसको, अभी तक उसको गिरफ्तार नहीं किया। हो सकता है अगले साल उसको पद्म भूषण का अवार्ड दे देंगे।
So that is the attack that's coming in from Arvind Kejriwal, saying 10,000 rupees was found in Sisodia's house, 8 crores was found at a BJP MLA's house, BJP MLA's son's house and in his properties. Kejriwal is saying, where's the ED and the CBI in this particular case? So you can feel ripples of the liquor scam now playing out in Karnataka as the bribe gate has rocked politics there. Arvind Kejriwal saying, you've taken on Sisodia, why aren't you arresting the BJP MLA and his son? Let's play out for you that comment by Kejriwal again.
इसी जिले का अमित शाह जी की पार्टी का एक नेता का बेटा 8 करोड़ रुपए के साथ पकड़ा, अभी तक गिरफ्तार नहीं किया उसको, अभी तक उसको गिरफ्तार नहीं किया। हो सकता है अगले साल उसको पद्म भूषण का अवार्ड दे देंगे।
So that's one comment that Kejriwal has said. We're going to be giving you a second comment at that same event where Arvind Kejriwal has compared the liquor scam with the bribe gate, saying that there was only about 10,000 found in Sisodia's house during raids, and yet he's been taken into custody by central agencies. All right, big breaking news that's coming in right now. The CBI has gotten 2 days of custody of Manish Sisodia. The big breaking news that's coming in. In fact, Sisodia in court has said, I'm being mentally harassed. The judge has told the CBI, don't ask the same questions over and over again. But CBI had sought 3 days of custody. They've got 2 days now. Anisha Mathur joining us with more details on this. Anisha, break down for us what exactly the court has said.
Well, from what the information that has come out to us, my colleague Kanu Sharda is inside and is sending us minute-by-minute updates. This judge has granted 2 days custody of Manish Sisodia to the CBI. Sisodia, however, has raised the allegation that he is being mentally harassed by the CBI during this interrogation. He has also said that they've been asking repetitive questions again and again, even though I've already answered them. Now, the judge has said that the CBI should not ask repetitive questions, do not conduct any mental harassment, but for the next 2 days, the CBI will have custody of Manish Sisodia. Very clearly, the CBI wanted 3 days custody. They've been granted 2 days of custody at this stage. But clearly, Akshita, CBI has got some part of what they wanted. Manish Sisodia will remain in their custody. They will get a chance to interrogate him even further. And I'm going to ask my camera person to sort of pan and show you what's happening now. Again, police arrangement here has come again getting stricter. We are being asked to move away from the gate.
I just want to update our viewers right now, Anisha, because I'm sure you're also tracking. Sisodia is going to come out. But Manish Sisodia has said, I'm being mentally harassed. The judge right now is reading out also conditions for the CBI to adhere to. One, they've told the CBI don't ask the same questions over and over again over the next 48 hours to Manish Sisodia. The judge has also told the CBI to conduct a medical examination of Sisodia every 24 hours. So in the 2 days that he will remain in custody, every single day there will be a medical examination that's conducted, with Sisodia claiming now that he's being mentally harassed as well. So these are some of the conditions put forth by the judge. We'll go across to Anisha in just a bit. I want to bring in Munish on this. The CBI will be very happy with this development, Munish. They asked for 3 days. They've got 2 days of Sisodia's custody. So essentially over the next 48 hours, they will have to go ahead and confront him with the accused as they wanted.
It's a very significant development as far as this case is concerned, and for the Central Bureau of Investigation, it's a partial victory. Why I'm saying this? Because CBI wanted the extension of custody. They asked for 3 days and they have got 2 days, which means that in next 48 hours, CBI will be confronting Mr. Manish Sisodia with certain accused in the case. As far as this allegation is concerned of mental harassment, the strategy, what the CBI says, that they have a strategy that if the person is not asking, they frame the question in different manner and they pose the same question and again. But now what the court has said, that you cannot ask the same question again and again. It's a mental harassment as per Manish Sisodia. So court has given the direction to the Central Bureau of Investigation. The other important part which you already mentioned earlier, the court had said that every 48 hours there should be a medical examination of Manish Sisodia. Now the court has said that every day, that is within 24 hours, you have to conduct medical examination of Manish Sisodia. Now what CBI is saying is that after getting this custody, they will be asking certain accused to join the investigation in the case, certain witnesses in the case, and there is a high possibility that some of the excise officials who are working then with Mr. Manish Sisodia, they will be called to this CBI headquarters where I am standing, and then they will be asked to sit face to face to Manish Sisodia. So these 2 days are going to be very exhausting, not only for Manish Sisodia but also for the Central Bureau of Investigation. There is a possibility that after 2 days, once the custody of Mr. Manish Sisodia is over, CBI may again ask for extension of custody, because it will be difficult even for the Central Bureau of Investigation to confront Manish Sisodia with all those with whom they want to confront with him.
So what does this also mean, Manish? As far as the ED's investigation is concerned, 2 days of CBI custody, his bail plea is going to be heard on March 10th. So from March 6th to March 10th, 4 days, perhaps he's going to be shifted to judicial custody. Is that what will happen? Based on, of course, whether the CBI wants his custody, or will the ED swoop in then?
Well, on March 6th, when he'll be produced before the court, if CBI doesn't get extension of custody of Mr. Manish Sisodia, he will be sent to judicial custody. And now the Enforcement Directorate will have time from 6th of March to 9th of March.
Okay, that's an update that's coming in right now from the Rouse Avenue Court. You can see Manish Sisodia being taken out right now. Anisha, it's over to you. Manish Sisodia being taken out by CBI officials. Back to the CBI headquarters for him.
Well, yes, Akshita, as you can see, the cavalcade has just left. The police escorts the cars where the CBI officials were sitting with Manish Sisodia. All of them have just left. We're playing out the visuals for you here. And the cars have just left. Manish Sisodia has been taken back to the CBI headquarters for the next 48 hours. The CBI has been granted 2 days of custody. The CBI has also been asked to ensure that there is no mental harassment of Manish Sisodia, and that he is taken for medical examination every 24 hours. But these 48 hours are going to be very, very crucial, as Manish was also saying. So Sisodia is likely to be confronted with several other co-accused, as well as Excise Department documentation, which the CBI has been saying that Sisodia has not completely cooperated. The CBI has been saying that there are documents that are missing, and now we're just waiting. Akshita, Somnath Bharti is here. We're just getting an update from here.
वही रीजनिंग इन्होंने फिर से दी कि भाई कुछ बोल नहीं रहे हैं। मनीष जी को भी जब कोर्ट ने पूछा कि जी आपको तकलीफ तो नहीं है, तो मनीष जी ने भी कोर्ट में कहा कि भाई एक ही सवाल रोजाना 10 घंटे यही पूछते हैं, तो दैट इज ए तकलीफ। जो मेंटल हरासमेंट है कि जब 1 बार 2 बार 10 बार 50 बार 100 बार बता दिया कि हमारे पास कुछ नहीं है, कोई डॉक्यूमेंट नहीं है, कोई एविडेंस नहीं है, तो वो मेंटल हरासमेंट की चर्चा मनीष जी ने भी की कोर्ट के अंदर।
अच्छा सर इसमें ये भी बात आई कि 2 नए गवाहों के साथ में उनकी क्रॉस क्वेश्चनिंग की जाएगी, तो वो 2 लोग कौन, मतलब किनके साथ में क्रॉस क्वेश्चनिंग की बात?
कोई नाम तो कोर्ट में नहीं लिया गया, लेकिन माननीय न्यायालय ने ये कहा कि भाई जो कुछ भी आपने करना है नेक्स्ट 2 डेज में कर लो, क्योंकि वो कोर्ट वॉज
क्यों चाहिए उनको 2 दिन और?
वही उनके आर्गुमेंट्स कोई डिफरेंट नहीं थे. What they were saying during the first remand. Today also they repeated the same thing. That is, he is not answering. He is not answering. He is not saying the truth, which is absolutely ridiculous. Because what somebody would answer if he has the same information. So कोर्ट का ये व्यू था कि भाई 2 दिन में जो आपने करना है कर लो. और एक बेल एप्लीकेशन हमने मूव किया है. वो बेल एप्लीकेशन की हेयरिंग 10 तारीख को 2 बजे होगी।
अच्छा सर, एक चीज और बताइए,
एक बार पूछ लें।
मैं ये पूछ रहा हूँ कि सीबीआई के बाद में ईडी का भी है सर, तो एक के बाद एक नए केसेस हैं, तो कानूनी जटिलताएं तो अभी मनीष सिसोदिया के सामने बहुत सारी हैं।
देखिए, जटिलताएं कुछ भी हों, लेकिन फैक्ट्स कुछ नहीं है। फैक्ट्स आर दैट मनीष हैज डन नथिंग, एंड टुडे इंटायर नेशन इज वॉचिंग कि जहां सारा स्ट्रेस होना चाहिए था कि भाई मोदी अडानी का जो डुओ है, जिसने देश के सारे रिसोर्सेज को खत्म कर दिया, लाखों करोड़ों का गबन देश को हुआ है, उसकी जांच नहीं हो रही है। और जांच उस व्यक्ति की कर रहे हैं जिसने कि देश को शिक्षा का मॉडल दिया, जिसके कारण पूरे विश्व में हिंदुस्तान का नाम रोशन हुआ, उसकी जांच कर रहे हैं। तो देश खुल्लम खुल्ला देख रहा है किस प्रकार से सीबीआई का मिसयूज हो रहा है, ईडी का मिसयूज हो रहा है। और सीबीआई, द वे इट वाज ड्यूरिंग कांग्रेस रिजीम अ केज्ड पैरेट, आज भी केज्ड पैरेट ही है।
सर, व्हाट वर द आर्गुमेंट्स इन द बेल एप्लीकेशन? आप लोगों ने क्या कहा है बेल एप्लीकेशन? और 10 तारीख तक तो बेल एप्लीकेशन की सुनवाई नहीं होगी, तो तब तक ही विल हैव टू स्टे इन जेल।
No. See, the next date after, because 2 days का रिमांड है, so after 2 days the judge will decide whether he has to be given PC or JC. So let's say the PC is refused, so he'll be sent to JC.
सर, आपकी तरफ से
So,
क्या मांग रखी गई है?
हमने तो यही कहा है कि भाई कोई केस नहीं बनता और इनको बेल पे रिलीज होना चाहिए। Naturally, because he is not no ordinary man. So do you require custodial interrogation? Do you have any new ground to seek custodial interrogation? There is nothing new ground. So they were repetitive of what they said last time. And that is why the court, instead of they agreeing to their demand of 3 days custody, only gave 2 days custody and gave sort of a warning also that whatever you wish to do in 2 days.
सीबीआई की तरफ से कहा गया कि मनीष सिसोदिया जांच में सहयोग नहीं कर रहे हैं।
सहयोग का मतलब क्या है? अगर सहयोग का मतलब यह है कि भाई जो वो चाहें वो मनीष जी बोल दें, तो ये तो गलत बात है ना, कि आप टॉर्चर करें किसी व्यक्ति को। भाई जो उनके आकाओं ने उनको कहा है कि भाई ये बोलो, मनीष से ये उगलवाओ, तो मनीष झूठ थोड़ी बोलेंगे।
उसके बारे में जो वकील साहिबान है वो बताएंगे, लेकिन ये मैं जरूर कहूंगा कि नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार की तानाशाही अपने चरम पर पहुंच चुकी है। देश और दिल्ली के 2 सबसे योग्य और अच्छे मंत्री, अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की सरकार के 2 सबसे योग्य मंत्री, जिन्होंने शिक्षा और स्वास्थ्य में अनुकरणीय काम करके दिखाया, आज उनको मोदी जी ने गिरफ्तार किया। जो मनीष सिसोदिया लाखों बच्चों को अच्छी शिक्षा दे रहे हैं, उनको जेल में डाल दिया। जो अडानी लाखों करोड़ का घोटाला कर रहा है, उसके जहाज में मोदी जी घूमते हैं। तो ये फर्क इस देश के एक एक नागरिक को समझ में आ रहा है, आम आदमी पार्टी के एक एक कार्यकर्ता को समझ में आ रहा है। लेकिन मैं सिर्फ इतना कहना चाहता हूं कि नरेंद्र मोदी जी, आपकी इन कार्रवाइयों से न तो आम आदमी पार्टी का काम रुकेगा, न दिल्ली की जनता का काम रुकेगा, न हमारा कारवां रुकेगा, और न केजरीवाल जी की लोकप्रियता रुकेगी। हाँ, ये जरूर है कि आपकी इन कार्रवाइयों से ये साबित हो गया कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी इस देश को अशिक्षित रखना चाहती है, बीमार रखना चाहती है। शिक्षा मंत्री और स्वास्थ्य मंत्री जो अनुकरणीय काम करते हैं, उनको जेल में डाला जाए।
जेल में रहेंगे, आपको सीबीआई की कस्टडी में रहेंगे, उसके बाद सुनवाई होगी। आज दलील दी गई कि होली मनाने दिया जाना चाहिए, पत्नी बीमार है, आपको लगता है कि उसके बाद उन्हें मतलब?
अब देखिए, ये तो न्यायालय का फैसला आएगा। क्या न्यायालय का फैसला आता है, उस पर मेरा कोई टिप्पणी करना तो ठीक नहीं है। लेकिन मैं ये जरूर कहूंगा कि ऐसे कोई इतने बड़े अपराधी हैं, बार बार रिमांड मांग रहे हैं। जिस व्यक्ति का नाम सीबीआई की पहली चार्जशीट में था ही नहीं, उसको आप इतना बड़ा आरोपी बना रहे हैं। 5 दिन रिमांड, फिर रिमांड, फिर रिमांड। ये समझ में आता है लोगों को कि आपका मकसद सिर्फ मनीष सिसोदिया को, केजरीवाल जी को, हमारी सरकार को, हमारी पार्टी को बदनाम करना है, लेकिन इससे होगा नहीं।
काउंसिल ने बात कही है कि उनको मेंटली हरास किया जा रहा है, की पूछताछ हो रही है, ताड़ना की तरह उन्होंने कहा ये।
मैं तो यहाँ प्रोटेस्ट में था, लेकिन अगर अधिवक्ता महोदय ने ये बात कही है तो ये बहुत ही गंभीर बात है। आप पूछताछ करने के लिए दबाव कैसे बना सकते हैं? मेंटली हैरेसमेंट अगर कर रहे हैं तो इसका मतलब सीबीआई जबरन बयान दिलाना चाहती है, बंदूक के नोक पे बयान दिलाना चाहती है। तो आप देख लीजिए कैसे काम कर रहे हैं लोग। मैं तो खुद ही कह रहा हूं, और पहले भी ऐसा हो चुका है कि सीबीआई ने फर्जी मुकदमे हम लोगों के खिलाफ किए। पहले भी ऐसा हो चुका है कि सीबीआई ने केजरीवाल जी के दफ्तर पे छापामारी की, कुछ नहीं निकला था। सत्येंद्र जैन के एक मामले में उनको फाइनल रिपोर्ट लगानी पड़ी, कुछ नहीं मिला। एक बार सिसोदिया जी के घर पे पहले भी छापा मार चुके थे, तो इसमें भी कुछ नहीं मिलेगा। ये जब तक परेशान करना चाहे करें, उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता।
ये बात कही जा रही है कि
So that is in fact the comment that's coming from Somnath Bharti, who was part of the hearing, where again he's fired the political vendetta charge, saying that once again the CBI had nothing new to offer in court. But the reality is that the Central Bureau of Investigation has been granted the request. They asked for 3 days custody. They have been given 2 days. Sisodia importantly says he's being mentally harassed, that the same question is repeatedly being asked to him by the Central Bureau of Investigation. As a result of him making that comment, the judge has told the CBI, you will not repetitively ask the same question over and over again. Medical examination will be done at regular intervals, which essentially means that every 24 hours there will be a medical examination that's conducted. Anisha Mathur and Manish both are with us for the latest on that. So Manish, now as we speak, Sisodia is being taken to the CBI headquarters. There are 2 aspects here based on which the CBI will seek leads on. One is missing documents, the other is to confront with co-accused. Does it look like all of that can be completed in a matter of 2 days?
It is going to be difficult for the Central Bureau of Investigation, because we have been given to understand is that there are at least 3 to 4 people with whom the CBI wants to confront Mr. Manish Sisodia with. As far as these people are concerned, they are not only accused in the case, but they are also witnesses in the case. There is a high possibility that the then working excise officials, when this policy was being drafted and later it was implemented and executed in the national capital, those officials may also be called in by the Central Bureau of Investigation to confront with Mr. Manish Sisodia. And if any confrontation happens, it takes at least 4 to 5 hours for the agencies, because there are questions, there are answers from both the sides. So it is a very lengthy, extensive process. But as far as agencies is concerned, because they have got 2 days of custody, they will try to wrap this up, and if it is not complete, they will again after 2 days ask the court to give few more days of custody of Mr. Manish Sisodia. That is going to be the strategy of the Central Bureau of Investigation. But this enforcement directorate is also ready with an application. There is a high possibility that once he is sent to judicial custody, they will be arresting Mr. Manish Sisodia, and they will be asking the court to give Manish Sisodia custody for the custodial interrogation in the case. Overall, what it looks like that both the agencies are coordinating with each other, ED and CBI, and they want to keep Manish Sisodia with them. And after the custody is over, both the agencies, CBI Enforcement Directorate, they will be trying their best to keep Mr. Manish Sisodia inside the Tihar jail. So that is the strategy at this point of time, to keep Manish Sisodia behind the bar. But as far as the investigation is concerned, what you are talking about, the missing file, the CBI has been able to trace back 2 of the missing files which were deleted by from the computer placed in the excise ministry.
Manish, I'll just come back to you. Amit Bharadwaj is joining us live. He was tracking the AAP protest at the AAP office.
हमारे 2 सबसे योग्य मंत्रियों को जेल में डाला।
संजय जी, आज सीबीआई ने कहा कि उनके पास नए एविडेंसेस हैं जिसके बेसिस पे
ऐसी बहानेबाजियां बहुत कर चुके। आप मुझे एक बात का जवाब दीजिए, सीबीआई की पहली चार्जशीट जो दाखिल हुई, उसमें मनीष सिसोदिया का नाम ही नहीं है। इसका मतलब उनके आका ने उनको डांटा कि अरे ये क्या कर रहे हो, पकड़ो इसको, ये तो शिक्षा पे काम कर रहा है। तो ये सब कुछ मोदी जी के इशारे पे हो रहा है, ये सबको समझ में आता है। आप कह रहे हैं मनीष सिसोदिया बहुत बड़े षड्यंत्रकारी हैं। अरे भैया, तो जो तुमने पहली चार्जशीट दाखिल की, जिसमें सबके बयान लिए, सबके बयान दर्ज किए, सारे गवाह बनाए गए, उसमें मनीष सिसोदिया का नाम ही नहीं था। तो एक कॉन्स्पिरेटर जिसको आप बता रहे हो, एक साजिशकर्ता जिसको आप बता रहे हो, उसका नाम तक किसी ने नहीं लिया पहली चार्जशीट में, और अचानक जब आपको ऊपर से डांट पड़ती है तो कहते हो नहीं नहीं साहब ये तो बहुत बड़े अपराधी हैं, इनको जेल में डालना है।
को अक्यूज्ड से कन्फ्रंट करने की बात कही जा रही है। को अक्यूज्ड से कन्फ्रंट करने के लिए सीबीआई ने ये रिमांड लिया।
तो 5 दिन में क्या कर रहे थे वो? क्यों नहीं कन्फ्रंट किया? अगर करना था तो करना चाहिए।
सर एक सवाल।
So that's a live reaction that just came in from our MP Sanjay Singh. The Aam Aadmi Party continuing to maintain that there is no basis on which Sisodia remains in custody. But the reality is that there is no relief that's coming for the former Delhi Deputy Chief Minister. He remains in CBI custody for the next 2 days. I'd like to thank our reporters for getting us all the updates. Slipping into a short break here on India Today. Don't go anywhere. The news and updates continue.
Are watching India Today.
तो जैसे सबसे तेज आपकी टैगलाइन है, तो इसी तरह से सबसे तेज हमारी सरकार की लाइफलाइन है।
Leader must have a vision. We will continue to work with the developing and the developed world for win-win solutions.
Nature had of course willed the survival of the fittest.
हम आतंकवाद के खिलाफ जीरो टॉलरेंस की पॉलिसी को अपनाए हुए हैं।
1 साल के अंदर राहुल कन्वर की कार जो होगी वो इलेक्ट्रिक की होगी।
There is a confrontation of competing visions.
Over a year since Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Over a year since this war has threatened to expand into a global conflict. Over a year since temperatures between the US and Russia have hit critical levels. And it's India that's facilitated a break in the ice. That's right, it was on the sidelines of the G20 foreign ministers meet in Delhi that the foreign ministers of the US and Russia finally spoke. The 10-minute contact, not quite a full-fledged meeting, is a major diplomatic milestone, especially since the US and Russia have been engaged in an escalating standoff over Ukraine, even brandishing their nuclear weapons at each other in the year gone by. It's understood that it was Secretary Antony Blinken's office that sought the meeting with his Russian counterpart. But the Russian side agreed to only a brief contact, where the two foreign ministers could chat. But what exactly happened in those crucial 10 minutes? It's unclear what Russia's Lavrov said, but the US State Department did brief reporters that Secretary Blinken informed his Russian counterpart that the US would continue to defend Ukraine for as long as it takes, and also urged Russia to rejoin the START nuclear arms control treaty. From the get-go at the G20 meet, Lavrov has been aggressive, taking every opportunity to lash out at the US and the West in general.
If you believe that the United States has the right to declare a threat to its national interest any place on earth, like they did in Yugoslavia, in Iraq, in Libya, in Syria, 10,000 miles across the Atlantic Ocean, and they have the right to do so, and you don't ask them any questions.
While the United States of America and Russia are at war with each other over the Russia-Ukraine war, it is in India that Blinken and Lavrov found time to speak with each other. A very brief contact, but one that is going to be significant in days to come. It just shows that India is not just a global player, it's also a peacemaker.
That the diplomatic breakthrough happened on Indian soil is no small feat. Much to the humiliation of critics of India's pragmatic neutrality on the Ukraine war, India has managed to play host to what most thought was impossible, a break in the ice between the US and Russia. And however brief that contact was, it comes with hopeful assurance. that only diplomacy and not war is the solution to the Ukraine crisis. With Geeta Mohan in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
Karnataka is the only southern state where the Bharatiya Janata Party has ever formed a government. But Karnataka is doubly special for the BJP because Karnataka is the first state where the party formed in 1980 first got the taste of power as the ruler. And if there was one man who played a very crucial role in establishing the BJP in this state, then it had to be B.S. Yedurappa, or BSY, a seasoned and wily politician who would come up with a much discussed political strategy called Operation Lotus. It is no wonder then that every time that the BJP formed a government in Karnataka, it was BSY who became the chief minister till 2021. 4 times the BJP staked its claim to govern Karnataka, and 4 times BSY took the chief minister's oath of office. And 4 times BSY had to resign before he could complete his term. Twice Chief Minister Yedurappa resigned because the BJP could not ensure the confidence of the House. Ironically, the remaining 2 times, Yedurappa had to resign because he himself lost the confidence of the BJP. It was on 26th of July 2021 that 4-time Karnataka Chief Minister announced his resignation. Five decades in politics, 2 days to 3 years at any one time in the Chief Minister's chair. Many thought that was the end of B.S. Yedurappa. But then on 22nd Feb, when the veteran saffron leader stood up in the Vidhan Sabha and announced that he intends to make it his last speech in the assembly, everyone was stunned. From the speaker to attending meager MLA audience urged him to reconsider the decision and pushed his retirement announcement by a couple of more days. On 24th of Feb, at a houseful Vidhan Sabha, Bukanakare Siddhalingappa Yedurappa announced his retirement from the assembly.
I'm not going to retire from the politics. I am not tired. And I will go around in the state to build up the party. And I have got 100% confidence that we are going to get absolute majority in Karnataka Assembly.
His assembly seat of Shikaripura will now go to his son Vijayendra. But that's not the end of the mighty BSY. With this the 80-year-old shrewd politician of 5 decades, have played a master stroke. He has the central leadership at his beck and call, and the state leadership looking for his approval. Because the winning card for BJP in the coming assembly election in Karnataka lies with the Lingayat leader alone. And that very card makes him the Lotus King of Karnataka.
Hello and welcome. You're watching The Inside Story. I'm Nabila Jamal. In this episode, we're here to revisit B.S. Yediyurappa, known as Karnataka's tallest politician, his 5-decade-long illustrious career. But before we get to that, I'm going to take you through exactly why the BJP feels B.S. Yediyurappa is really the king of Karnataka. What has made the BJP return to B.S. Yediyurappa to push their prospects this election?
ಆದರಣೀಯ ಪ್ರಧಾನ ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಶ್ರೀ B.S. ಯಡಿಯೂರಪ್ಪ ಅವರಿಗೆ
BSY is a master politician. He is emotional and doesn't shy away from showing it in public. He is the king of Karnataka, at least as far as BJP is concerned. His strength lies in his loyal vote bank of Lingayats. Informal estimates put the population of Lingayats at 14 to 16% of Karnataka vote, concentrated around the northern belt of the state.
Lingayats for a long time had been waiting for an anchor figure. After Virendra Patil in the Congress, Virendra Patil was ousted as chief minister in 1990, and ever since they were waiting for a leader, and finally they found it in Mr. Yediyurappa in 2007-8, and it is since then that we see Yediyurappa as the most important leader for the Lingayats.
B.S. Yediyurappa is the most prominent leader of the Lingayat community. When JDS refused to vacate the chief minister's post in 2007, it ensured his ascent as the leader of the Lingayats.
And the agreement at that time was, both would have 20 months each. The Congress and the JDS would have 20 months each. So the first chance came to Mr. Kumaraswamy. But, when he was completing 20 months and when time came for handing over power, there was something in Devegowda's family. They said, no, we are not going to hand over power. So, Mr. Devegowda came up with this excuse that we don't want to join hands with the communal party. But you slept with that communal party for 20 months and then, the government collapsed. So that was... based on that, the election was there immediately after that, and the Lingayat communities, to which Mr. Yediyurappa belongs, they felt betrayed. They thought Mr. Yediyurappa deserved to have a chance as the chief minister, and it was his first chance for the BJP to form a government in Karnataka.
But Yediyurappa is mired in multiple corruption charges, and his open backing for his son Vijayendra as his political heir has been a weakness. In 2021, it cost him the chief minister's office.
BJP thought that, before the 2023 election, they needed to have a younger face, to go to the elections. And Mr. Yediyurappa had already been given an extended run, and they were looking for somebody to, who would replace Mr. Yediyurappa. It was not easy for BJP to do that because, see, Yediyurappa has been singularly responsible for BJP to come to power in Karnataka, and Karnataka is the only state in the south that BJP has been able to have some kind of a power. So he had to be persuaded. In fact, I would say even pushed a little bit to resign.
ಆದರಣೀಯ ಪ್ರಧಾನ ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಶ್ರೀ B.S.
Despite these allegations, he is the man that the Lotus depends on when it comes to the South India and Karnataka in particular. Basavaraj Bommai, despite being the chief minister of the state for the past 2 years, hasn't been able to garner the same support that Yediyurappa has.
The BJP cannot think of coming to power in Karnataka without the support of Lingayats. And it so happens that the party can secure the Lingayat support only through Mr. Yediyurappa. Now, why it is so important for them to secure only Lingayat support? One reason I gave you earlier, that they are focused or they are concentrated in a few constituencies, and these constituencies happen to be quite a few in northern Karnataka. The other reason is that BJP's efforts to cultivate a loyal social base among other communities has not so far yielded much results. So they are still trying to cultivate other caste and communities, but then the secure loyalty or the guaranteed loyalty that they have been able to gain so far is only of Lingayats.
So this is the double engine that BJP depends on to win the coming state elections.
Of course, B.S. Yediyurappa's credibility and loyalty wasn't really built in a day or in one election. Yediyurappa, a strong man of the Lingayat community, really built his career from absolute scratch, brick by brick. He doesn't come from a political background, doesn't have that political stock, so there was no family baton that was handed to him. It was all on his own merit. He inherited nothing. It was sheer grit, hard work, perseverance and political acumen that he became the Shimoga man and then went on to become the tallest Lingayat leader of today.
Bokanakare Siddhalingappa Yediyurappa was born in 1943 in the small village of Bokanakare in the Mandya district of Karnataka. His family were of farming stock and the young BSY studied in a local government school and later attended a government college in Mandya. In the mid-1960s, he got a job as a clerk in the social welfare department in Shimoga, 500 kilometers away. Sometime later, he quit his job and moved to Shikaripura to take up a better job at a rice mill. By 1967, Yediyurappa was well settled, having married the mill owner's daughter, and he had gone into business himself. He started a hardware shop in Shikaripura. This was also the time that Yediyurappa started becoming active in local politics. A Lingayat by birth, Yediyurappa started off as a member of the Janasangh. By the time of the emergency in 1975, he had become important enough to be put in jail for 45 days. Yediyurappa's rise in politics had its roots in his connection with the farming community of Lingayats. Lingayats as a group had been pro-Congress till the 1960s, and after a series of political splits and mergers, the Lingayat vote started consolidating behind B.S. Yediyurappa, the emerging star of the Sangh Parivar. In 1980, when the Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, was formed, BSY became the president of the Shikaripura unit. And by 2004, B.S. Yediyurappa had become the leader of opposition in the Karnataka Assembly. In 2006, he became the Deputy Chief Minister in a JDS-BJP coalition government with H.D. Kumaraswamy of the JDS as the Chief Minister. According to the alliance deal, when some 20 months later, BSY was to become the Chief Minister, H.D. Kumaraswamy refused to budge. The BJP withdrew support, and after a month of President's rule, the party staked its claim to form government in Karnataka. B.S. Yediyurappa was sworn in as the Chief Minister, but his government couldn't survive beyond the 7th day when it failed to prove its majority on the floor of the Assembly. Yediyurappa's first stint as Chief Minister may have lasted barely 7 days. But 6 months later, in May 2008, the BJP under his leadership had emerged as the single largest party in Karnataka Assembly elections. Yediyurappa fell 3 short of the magic number, but the support of 6 independent candidates helped BJP form the government with Yediyurappa at the helm. Later, BSY is credited at having devised what came to be known as Operation Lotus, to boost the BJP's own strength in the House. 7 opposition MLAs, 4 from the Janata Dal, secular, and 3 from the Congress, were promised ministerial posts in return of support. To escape the anti-defection law, the legislators quit their seats, necessitating by-polls. The same people who had resigned now contested the by-elections, but this time as BJP candidates. Of these newly recruited BJP members, 5 of them won their seats. But despite this consolidation, BSY personally could not complete his full term as CM. In July 2011, Yediyurappa had to resign after his name cropped up in investigations into land deals and illegal mining operations run by the Reddy brothers of Bellary.
I have tendered my resignation to the post of Chief Minister of Karnataka.
2.5 months later, Yediyurappa was arrested. After having spent a month in jail, he was granted bail, and a year later, charges against him were quashed by the High Court. With the charges against him quashed, Yediyurappa wanted his Chief Minister's post back. And when he did not get it, he left the party in a huff in December 2012. B.S. Yediyurappa formed his own party, the Karnataka Janata Prakasha, or the KJP, and decided to contest elections on his own. The 2013 polls saw a major change in fortune for the BJP. The Congress came back to power with Siddaramaiah as the Chief Minister, and the BJP was reduced to just 40 seats. BSY's KJP had secured 6, but it had damaged the chances of the BJP returning to power. The BJP realized that it was time to bring Yediyurappa back into the saffron fold, and behind-the-scene efforts were on to woo him back. In September 2013, Yediyurappa announced that the KJP would support the then Gujarat Chief Minister Narendra Modi's prime ministerial campaign for 2014. 4 months later, in January 2014, the KJP ceased to exist when it merged with the BJP. B.S. Yediyurappa, back in the BJP, contested the Shimoga constituency and was elected to the 16th Lok Sabha. In 2018, he contested the Karnataka Legislative Assembly elections and won Shikaripura. Meanwhile, the BJP had once again become the largest party in the assembly, and so BSY could stake claim to form the government. Resigning his seat in parliament, B.S. Yediyurappa took the Chief Minister's oath for the 3rd time on 17th of May 2018 and once again failed to garner majority. This time he was Chief Minister for 2 days when, realizing that he would not be able to prove his majority on the floor of the House, BSY resigned. H.D. Kumaraswamy of the JDS, in alliance with the Congress, replaced him as the Chief Minister. 1 year later, in July 2019, Operation Lotus Part 2 was in play, when 20 ruling coalition MLAs resigned their seats, ensuring that the Kumaraswamy government lost its majority and Yediyurappa had the numbers to form the government. B.S. Yediyurappa became the Chief Minister of Karnataka for the 4th time, and this time proved his majority on the floor of the Assembly. But as luck would have it, this time too, he couldn't complete his term. 2 years into his term, BSY lost the confidence. This time, not of the House, but his party. The BJP had decided that BSY had to go.
ಸಂತೋಷದಿಂದ ಖುಷಿಯಿಂದ 75 ವರ್ಷ ದಾಟಿದ ಯಡಿಯೂರಪ್ಪನಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ 2 ವರ್ಷ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಯಾಗಿ ಮುಂದುವರಿಕೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ಟಂತಹ ಪ್ರಧಾನಿ ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ, ಅಮಿತ್ ಶಾ ಅವರಿಗೆ, ನಡ್ಡಾ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಶಬ್ದಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಬಹುದು.
Now, in 2021, when B.S. Yediyurappa became the chief minister, he resigned at that point. Many of them thought that that was really the end to this octogenarian's career, this illustrious career of 5 decades. But it appears that there was a lot more to come. Developments in the last 1 week itself is testimony here to see how the BJP really finally has come back to having faith in B.S. Yediyurappa and his merit to really push the BJP's prospects in the state. Prime Minister himself came down to Karnataka to celebrate B.S. Yediyurappa's birthday and even inaugurated an airport in Shimoga, naming it after B.S. Yediyurappa.
कर्नाटका के लोकप्रिय जननेता B.S. येदियुरप्पा जी का जन्मदिन है.
On 27th of Feb, B.S. Yediyurappa turned 80 years old. It was also the day Shivamogga got its own international airport. Shaped like a lotus, it was the project that Yediyurappa personally supervised. The airport was even meant to be named after BSY. But he refused and instead suggested the airport be named after legendary Kannada poet Kuvempu. The Prime Minister of India inaugurated it. Every second of the Prime Minister's Shivamogga visit was spent in sending out one resounding message that B.S. Yediyurappa was, is and will be the Karnataka king for the BJP. From holding his hand and pulling him forward, to felicitating him, to greet him, Prime Minister Modi ensured the spotlight was firmly on Yediyurappa.
कर्नाटका के लोकप्रिय जननेता B.S. येदियुरप्पा जी का जन्मदिन है. साथियों, मेरी आप सबसे एक विनती है, आप करेंगे? अगर आपके पास मोबाइल फोन है तो मोबाइल फोन निकाल करके उसकी फ्लैश लाइट शुरू करिए और येदियुरप्पा जी का सम्मान कीजिए. येदियुरप्पा जी के सम्मान में सब लोग हर एक के मोबाइल पर फ्लैश लाइट चलना चाहिए. येदियुरप्पा जी के सम्मान में चलना चाहिए.
Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai was sidelined.
Mr. Yediyurappa is on the retirement mode. After all, he's just about crossed 80 years. And as everyone knows, in the BJP, 75 is the cutoff for most politicians. In fact, Mr. L.K. Advani, Mr. Murali Manohar Joshi, they were asked to quit once they crossed 75. So to that extent, Mr. Yediyurappa has been one of the exceptions.
Ladies and gentlemen,
B.S. Yediyurappa is well aware of the political nuances. He needs to ensure his legacy and he plays to the audience to perfection.
My 80th birthday is also memorable because of you. Your precious time was allocated to inaugurate historical projects which Shivamogga district never witnessed since independence.
BJP's current state government is entangled in corruption controversies. Congress and JDS hopes to cash in on their misfortune.
We are going to have a very stiff fight between the BJP on the one side and the Congress, or BJP and Congress plus JDS on the other side. So it is not that just because they have been able to have Mr. Yediyurappa on their side, apparently, we do not know the real story, but they have been able to have him on their side, is going to guarantee them comeback.
Yediyurappa's active participation will be a key factor for BJP. He still remains an undisputed leader among not only the Lingayats but several other backward classes.
a true statesman.
Scheduled caste and scheduled tribes like Nayakas, Banjaras and Madigas, whom he has nurtured assiduously. Apart from relentless campaigning by Prime Minister Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah, Yediyurappa's hold over these communities has the potential to tilt the balance in favor of the BJP.
Now the electoral battleground is all set for Karnataka Assembly elections. The Lotus King stands right in the middle to pull the strings here. But will the voters really accept B.S. Yediyurappa and dance to his tunes? That will only be clear on the last day when the last vote is counted. Now that's all that we have here for this edition of Inside Story. Time for a short break. We'll be right back with a lot more on B.S. Yediyurappa and his fiefdom.
With the Northeast elections done and dusted, the BJP will now turn its lens onto state of war Karnataka. BJP is war horse for many decades in the state. B.S. Yediyurappa is all set to lead the campaign at the ripe age of 80. Former Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa has emerged as the man of the moment. Recently felicitated and praised lavishly by Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself.
मुझे याद है कि रईता बंधु येदियुरप्पा जी ने श्री अन्न को प्रोत्साहन देने के लिए यहां कितना बड़ा अभियान चलाया था.
The duo will lead the BJP's campaign for this year's poll battle. B.S. Yediyurappa is electorally important for the BJP, considering his role as a Lingayat strongman. The Lingayats make up at least 17% of the Karnataka vote bank and are the largest community in the state. They are also the BJP's most loyal vote bank, thanks to Yediyurappa.
I am not going to contest for elections, but I am go around in the state to come back to power in the Karnataka. For that, I will work day and night. 101% will come back to power next assembly election also.
But the big question looms: who will be the BJP's CM face? Bureau Report, India Today.
It's lights, camera, action on the biggest poll battle of 2023. And the BJP is doing everything they can to retain power in Karnataka. The double engine of Karnataka Congress, DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah, are doing everything they can to oust the BJP. Oh, wait. Haven't we forgotten something? The JDS, aka the Kingmaker. Welcome to the State of War Karnataka.
So I think in general there is obviously much more digital advertising happening, and the platforms are becoming more active and influencers are becoming more active, because we do feel that this is going to shape advertising in the future in a very, very big way. So more than I would say, has it gone up or down, because the guidelines are very recent. I think what we can say is that just at an anecdotal basis, we are seeing a lot more influencers who are compliant. We are seeing the hashtags being used. We are seeing the paid partnership tags being used. So I think that's a great step, and we are definitely seeing more platforms also bringing in disclosure labels, so that there is a native way to kind of disclose your material connection. So I think influencers are taking this whole thing, I feel, in a really good way, in a very positive way, and using disclosure, not with any kind of pressure, but I think as a voluntary choice that they are making, and I think that is really, really great news.
Absolutely. Like you said, there's been a rise in digital ads. Digital influencing marketing is the newest thing on the block. Where do you think this will go? Will it take over the revenue, the ad spends that we saw for TV ads? Will digital advertising be the biggest advertising field in ad?
If you see the growth that it has, I mean, it's already kind of inching towards television growth. So television still remains the largest, but digital is now a close second. And the rate of growth of digital is definitely higher. So I think, I think all media will continue to grow. So it's not as if, that you will actually see a decline in any particular medium. But yes, I think just in terms of percentage split, I feel that digital is likely to take over television in the next few years.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Are watching India Today.
Hello and welcome. You're watching India Today. I'm Akshatha Nantagopal, getting you the top stories that we're tracking this Saturday. Let's begin with the headlines. It's setback after setback for Aam Aadmi Party's Manish Sisodia. CBI custody extended for 2 more days. Court to hear Sisodia's bail plea only on March 10th. High drama on the streets of Bengaluru. Congress Netas stage massive protest after bribe-gate bomb is dropped on Bombay. Congress seeks his resignation. Surjewala Sidramaya among many senior Netas detained. BJP tears into Rahul Gandhi over his Cambridge speech, fires dynast jibes as he denigrated India on foreign soil. Chilling Umesh Pal murder details. Atik's men threatened him for a piece of land, sought 1 crore rupees as extortion money and killed him because he refused to pay up. Yet another temple attacked in Australia. Lakshmi Narayan temple vandalized in Brisbane by Khalistani supporters. Anti-Modi graffiti on temple walls. It's been a massive setback for Delhi Deputy Chief Minister, for the former Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia in the Delhi liquor scam. Sisodia's CBI custody has been extended by 2 days, and not just that, his bail plea hearing is now pushed to March 10th. The Delhi court, in fact, has ruled that the CBI will get custody for 2 days. The CBI had 3 days of custody. A medical examination of Sisodia must be conducted after every 24 hours. And this because of the fact that Sisodia in court told the judge that he's being mentally harassed with the same question repeatedly being asked. Now, during the hearing, the CBI further stated that some of the key documents were missing and needed to be traced, while adding that they wanted to confront him with other co-accused in the case. Sisodia's, in fact, lawyer said that he was fully cooperating
with the investigation. They demanded bail, claiming that his wife was unwell and the Sisodia was the sole caretaker. Aam Aadmi Party, meanwhile, staged a massive protest meters away at their headquarters against Sisodia's arrest.
वही से उनके आर्गुमेंट्स कोई डिफरेंट नहीं थे. What they were saying during the first remand. Today also they repeated the same thing. That is, he is not answering. He is not answering. He is not saying the truth, which is absolutely ridiculous, because what somebody would answer if he has the same information. So कोर्ट का ये व्यू था कि भाई 2 दिन में जो आपने करना है कर लो, और एक बेल एप्लीकेशन हमने मूव किया है. वो बेल एप्लीकेशन की हेयरिंग 10 तारीख को 2 बजे होगी.
हमारी लड़ाई न्यायालय में, सड़क पर, संसद में, हर जगह जारी रहेगी. आम आदमी पार्टी का एक एक कार्यकर्ता, हमारा संघर्ष आगे भी चलता रहेगा. न्यायालय का हम लोग सम्मान करते हैं. न्यायालय का जो फैसला आया है उसके बारे में जो वकील साहिबान हैं वो बताएंगे, लेकिन ये मैं जरूर कहूंगा कि नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार की तानाशाही अपने चरम पर पहुंच चुकी है. देश और दिल्ली के 2 सबसे योग्य और अच्छे मंत्री, अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की सरकार के 2 सबसे योग्य मंत्री, जिन्होंने शिक्षा और स्वास्थ्य में अनुकरणीय काम करके दिखाया, आज उनको मोदी जी ने गिरफ्तार किया है.
कोर्ट ने जमानत की जो बहस है वो अब 10 मार्च को डाल दी है. तो अब 2 ही इसके अंदर पॉसिबिलिटी बनती हैं. या तो उनको जेल में भेजा जाएगा या पुलिस कस्टडी में, यानी कि CBI कस्टडी में भेजा जाएगा. और मैं ये समझता हूँ ये पूरी की पूरी मोडस ऑपरेंडी जो है केंद्र सरकार की है, ताकि बिना किसी कारण लंबे समय तक आप एक अच्छे मंत्री को जेल में रख सकें. और ये बिल्कुल गलत है कि बिना कुछ साबित हुए, बिना किसी सबूत के आप किसी आदमी को जेल में रखेंगे.
So the AAP crying foul over the fact that Sisodia remains right now in CBI custody. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal is in Karnataka campaigning for the party ahead of the state polls, and he launched an attack at the BJP for arresting Manish Sisodia, linking the liquor scam in Delhi to the bribe gate in Karnataka.
गिरफ्तार किया मनीष सिसोदिया को, बड़ी नाइंसाफी है कि नहीं है? मनीष सिसोदिया के घर पे रेड मारी, कुछ नहीं मिला. बोले मनीष सिसोदिया 100 करोड़ खा गया, कभी कहते हैं 1000 करोड़ खा गया. अरे मनीष सिसोदिया ने 100,000 करोड़ खाए होते तो करोड़ 2 करोड़ उसके घर में मिलने चाहिए थे कि नहीं मिलने चाहिए थे? उसकी पूरी रेड में 10,000 रुपए मिले. मनीष सिसोदिया के बैंक लॉकर देखे, उसमें कुछ नहीं मिला.
All right, let's take this across to our reporters on the ground as well. Anisha Mathur is joining us live from the Rouse Avenue court. Anisha, take us through really some of the highlights of what played out in the court, the arguments that played out, but finally, of course, culminating with another setback for Sisodia.
Well, yes, Akshita, today has been yet another setback for Manish Sisodia, and with me is Kanu Sharda, our reporter who was inside the courtroom, who has been giving us detailed minute-by-minute updates of what has happened. Kanu, this has been a setback, but can you just tell us, for the viewers, what exactly were the main arguments that were raised by the CBI and by Sisodia's lawyers?
Well, Anisha, today the CBI's main contention before the court was that they need more time to interrogate Manish Sisodia, because he's been uncooperative and evasive during his replies. He's not cooperating at all. At this, the judge also asked the CBI as to what new grounds have been made in their remand application for seeking more remand, because the lawyers for Sisodia has also pointed out that his liberty is at stake and he should be granted relief. He's no longer required in the custody. So a lot of questions have been asked by the judge also, and during the hearing, Sisodia, at the end of the hearing, when the 2 days remand was granted to the CBI of Sisodia. Sisodia went on to say that he has been facing mental harassment from CBI constantly because he has been, being asked same questions again and again for 8 to 9 hours a day.
So, Akshata, you can see a long argument, but now the action moves to Monday when Sisodia will be brought back before the Rouse Avenue Court for further proceedings. Back to you.
All right, Anisha and Kanu, thank you very much for getting us all of those details. Let's see what happens in the days to come. What's very clear is that for the moment, at least till March 10th, there's no relief for Manish Sisodia. Now, the political storm over the Karnataka bribe gate is peaking in Karnataka before the elections. The Karnataka Congress staged a massive dharna demanding the arrest of BJP MLA Madal Virupakshappa, whose son was caught taking a bribe on Thursday. Senior Congress leaders Siddaramaiah and Randeep Surjewala were part of the protest, and besides several other senior leaders, they were detained by the cops. Congress is reiterating its 40% commission charge against the BJP government and has demanded once again the resignation of Chief Minister Bommai. Siddaramaiah has urged the Election Commission to schedule polls at the earliest, asking to end the alleged corruption and commission by BJP and usher in accountability as per constitutional provisions. Now, remember the entire Pay CM campaign by the Karnataka Congress. They've launched a follow-up now called a Pay MLA campaign, which is part of the efforts being made by the opposition to hold the Bommai administration accountable and highlight the corruption charges against the party.
We never supported terrorism. It is in fact, Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi died for what? Because of the terrorism.
So till
why Congress party is supporting terrorism? See, Amit Shah is also lying. He is also a great liar.
जिस प्रकार से, जिस बदनीयत से, दोनों हाथों से भारतीय जनता पार्टी और बोम्मई सरकार कर्नाटक को लूट रही है, कर्नाटक में रिश्वत का बोलबाला है, चारों ओर आपके पैसे की, कर्नाटक की जनता के पैसे की लूट और खसूट मची है। उसने कर्नाटक को पूरे देश के सामने एक ऐसा भ्रष्टाचार का मॉडल भाजपा ने पेश किया है जिसके लिए भाजपा को चुल्लू भर पानी में डूबकर मर जाना चाहिए।
इसी जिले का अमित शाह जी की पार्टी का एक नेता का बेटा 8 करोड़ रुपए के साथ पकड़ा, अभी तक गिरफ्तार नहीं किया उसको, अभी तक उसको गिरफ्तार नहीं किया। हो सकता है अगले साल उसको पद्म भूषण का अवार्ड दे दें।
Meanwhile, Home Minister Amit Shah, who was in Karnataka yesterday, lashed out at the JDS and Congress, saying that they're the #1 in corruption, claiming that these parties will never work for the poor. Shah urged voters to instead choose the BJP.
FDI में पहला नंबर लाने वाली भाजपा को वोट देना है या भ्रष्टाचार में पहले नंबर वाली जेडीएस और कांग्रेस को वोट देना? जो पार्टियां परिवारवाद करती है वो कर्नाटक का भला नहीं कर सकती। जेडीएस को आप जब वोट देते हो उनको 25-30 सीटें मिलती हैं और बाद में वो 25-30 सीट लेकर वो कांग्रेस के पास चले जाते हैं और कर्नाटक फिर से भ्रष्टाचारी नंबर 1 कांग्रेस पार्टी के रूल में आ जाता है।
Nagarjun Dwarkanath is joining us live with more details on this. Nagarjun, pressure mounting really on the BJP, especially in the run-up to this high-profile election in Karnataka. With this massive protest by the Congress, is the BJP really rethinking their strategy? They haven't really defended the MLA or his son, but haven't acted against them either.
Well, that's true. In fact, we were hoping that he would be suspended from the party as well and promised to the people that he would not be given ticket in the upcoming elections. But what has BJP done is they only distance themselves from the act, and they've said we have given all the freedom to Lokayukta and investigations taking on in a transparent manner. But what the Congress is saying is that how can MLA be absconding? How can the police not know what his whereabouts? And his son has been caught with 6 to 8 crore of cash, hard cash, no further questions being asked. And shamelessly, the BJP is still defending the MLAs, what the Congress is saying. What we are picking up from our sources is that the MLA in question is waiting for an anticipatory bail. Most likely, he would move the court on Monday, and post that, he would surrender before the Lokayukta if he gets the anticipatory bail. But chances are very low is what we are told, because the court also will tell the advocates representing him, saying, please go before the Lokayukta and surrender yourself, or at least appear before them and act as per the summons, and then come to us if there's any consequences. Well, things are very bad for Madal Virupakshappa at this point of time. However, the BJP have distanced themselves and let Madal fight it alone.
Okay, we'll track the latest that comes in on this and the latest political reactions. Thanks for the moment, Nagarjun, for joining us with those details. Let's move on to some other stories and get you the reactions coming in on Rahul Gandhi's Cambridge speech. Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma has launched an attack on Rahul Gandhi over his speech in Cambridge University. The Assam Chief Minister, in a series of tweets, has said that Rahul's speech at the university was nothing but a brazen attempt to denigrate the country on foreign soil. Rejecting Rahul's claim of Pegasus being installed on his phone, Himanta pointed out the Supreme Court ruling on the matter, which said that there was no conclusive proof of the Israeli spyware being installed on phones. He also attacked Rahul over his remarks that the Congress leader saw terrorists from a distance during the Bharat Jodo Yatra in Kashmir. Himanta Biswa Sarma asked why Rahul didn't report the incident to security agencies and instead went to Cambridge and spoke about it. He also slammed Rahul Gandhi over another point he made in his Cambridge address for insulting Pulwama martyrs by calling the terror attack as a car bomb.
मैं तो एक नसीहत देना चाहती हूं अनुराग ठाकुर को, थोड़े पढ़े लिखे प्रतीत होते हैं, कैम्ब्रिज का लेक्चर सुनिए, थोड़े आपके ज्ञान चक्षु खुलेंगे, वर्ल्ड व्यू आएगा। लोकतंत्र को किस तरह से मजबूत करने की बात, ये जो विश्व अमेरिका और चीन के बीच में बांटा जा रहा है और किस तरह से भारत एक शक्ति बन के उभर सकता है, कैसे नेताओं को सुनना चाहिए लोगों की आवाज के बारे में जो राहुल गांधी जी बात करें, थोड़ा वो सुन लेंगे तो इस तरह के नफरती भाषण देने छोड़ देंगे।
देखिए, ये दुर्भाग्य है कि राहुल गांधी उस कांग्रेस पार्टी के हैं जिन्होंने देश के अंदर ही नहीं, उन्होंने विश्व भर में भारत की इज्जत के लिए लड़ाई लड़ी है। आज वही कांग्रेस पार्टी के एक प्रकार से मुखिया होते हुए राहुल गांधी बार बार अपने देश के लोकतंत्र का, अपने संविधान का वो अपमान कर रहे हैं। ये दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण चीज है।
Let's get you some of the highlights of what Rahul Gandhi had said at Cambridge that sparked this political fight now.
The institutional framework which is required for a democracy, parliament, a free press, the judiciary, just the idea of mobilization, just the idea of moving around, these are all getting constrained. So we are facing an attack on the basic structure of Indian democracy, right? Here you can see that picture. That picture is taken in front of Parliament House, and that's where a whole bunch of opposition members of Parliament were just standing there talking about certain issues, and we were just locked up and put in jail. And that's happened 3 or 4 times, right? And it's happened relatively violently. That's just an example.
And that's all we have time for on this broadcast. Thanks for tuning in. Coming up on the other side is Health 360 with Sneha Murdani.
You are watching India Today.
India Today Conclave 2023, March 17th and 18th, New Delhi. Listen to Janvi Kapoor, Malaika Arora, Anita Sengupta, Abha Adams, Hajar Chena Ramani, Dr. Ruha Shadab. The India Moment.
Who will be the Chief Minister of Karnataka after election, the central leadership is going to take decision. But at the time of that public meeting, Amit Shah ji spoke about me and also Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. Naturally, this leadership will get maximum support from the people of Karnataka. That is the reason he has mentioned Modi ji and my name. And that doesn't mean that he has neglected Basuraj Bommai. Basuraj Bommai, myself and Modi ji and all together, we will work hard in the Karnataka and we will come back to power. There are so many leaders in Karnataka. At the time of after election, the Modi ji and Amit Shah is going to take decision who should lead the party in Karnataka. And you know very well, our Bommai's government has given very good pro-people program in Karnataka. It is all helpful to us to come back to power in Karnataka. And who should be the lead of the government next time, that will decide by the Prime Minister of India and also Home Minister. Now, because of so many developments, there are so many leaders in Karnataka to lead the government. And who should be the leader of the government, that will be decided by the central leadership.
You're still facing some troubles with the semiconductor shortages, and if you could tell us about the production volumes currently?
Yes, so there is a continued problem as far as the semiconductor component shortages are concerned. We did announce, at the time of quarterly declaration of the quarterly result in Q3, that we lost in Q3 about 46,000 units due to production. We lost some numbers in Jan and in February as well. And in fact, our estimate is in March, this loss would be even higher than what we saw in Jan and February. So this quarter as well, we will see a problem regarding the semiconductor. And I expect going forward in the next few quarters, this problem to continue. In fact, we have a very low visibility of the future availability.
But what about the demand outlook going forward for you for various segments, both the entry-level utility vehicles as well going forward?
So for the next year, first of all, for the current year, the prediction is that we will end up the passenger vehicle sales to be somewhere between 3.85 to 3.9 million units. And on this strong base, the prediction for the growth for the next financial year is between 5 to 7%, which means about 4.05 million to 4.1 million. And of course, we have flagged some red flags, which could impact the demand negatively, which includes the higher interest rates and the loan rates thereof, and then of course the El Nino, which can impact the agricultural incomes, and that can dampen the rural demand as well as stoke the inflation fears.
So how do you expect to be dealing with the prices? Do we expect more hikes from here?
Listen, it's possible, but we have not decided yet. We are keenly watching the cost structure, and remember, cost structure for an auto OEM is largely the biggest factor is the material cost. Yes. So it's about 75 to 77% of the cost structure for any auto OEM is material cost. And there it depends, much depends on the geopolitical situation. And also remember that from 1st of April, we will have the new RD norms in force. And that requires a change of specs of the vehicle. For many of our models, we have already done so. And that implies that there is a cost effect of the change of specs, entails some sort of a cost increase. And we have to see how much of it can be sort of balanced by the softening in the commodity prices, which we have seen recently. But we have to keep, monitoring the situation and take a decision at an appropriate time.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Well, it's that time of the year when all you can think about is bhang, mithai, fun, colors and festivities. It is Holi, a time to celebrate a festival of joy and colors. But what if that color gets into your ears, your mouth, your throat? What about the impact of that color on your hair, your skin? Now, with all the fun and fervor comes some health problems, which is actually common during this festival. Usually, the problems erupt after the festival. And that's the reason why we have put together this episode of Health 360 to tell you about the most common health hacks around Holi. These are tips that you must follow for an enjoyable and healthy Holi. I'm Sneha Mordani. This is Health 360. A very happy Holi to all our viewers. Holi is all about colors. Colors, not chemicals. But unfortunately, the colors, the gulal that you find in the market nowadays is laden with toxic chemicals. And that's the reason why your hair and skin always go for a toss after playing Holi. We've put together this report for you. It gives you a sense of what you should be doing before playing Holi and after playing Holi to ensure that your skin and hair is taken care of. Holi is a time to spend with family and celebrate with tasty treats like gujia, malpua and mouth-watering Holi-specific barfis. And also enjoy the riot of colors. Amidst all of this fun and celebration, we often neglect our skin and hair. For those who do not take care of the skin and hair before the festival, often end up with dry skin and limp hair. Also acne breakouts. So India Today decided to catch up with the best experts on what you should be doing for your skin care and hair care. Your skin needs the utmost treatment before and after Holi festivities, starting with the facial cleanser and moving on to an ultra-hydrating moisturizer, which is why we're bringing you some pre- and post-Holi skincare suggestions. Artificial Holi colors may significantly affect the condition of your healthy skin. It is crucial to make sure you're ready to protect yourself against the negative effects of such use. Here are some simple suggestions for protecting your skin while celebrating the Festival of Colors.
Basically, you have to, your daily skincare routine, which is there, like you cleanse,
you use a serum or you use a moisturizer, and then you use a sunscreen. So, but be liberal with the moisturizer, because you would need to really hydrate your skin, and even with the moisturizer, and this also acts as a barrier. It protects you from the various chemicals that you would be using during Holi. So that is the normal skincare routine, but yes, you have to take certain precautions, like you should not have had any procedure done before you start playing Holi, at least about 5 days before, like a bleaching or a peel or a laser.
Before going outside to play Holi, use ice cubes to seal your pores, and that can work wonders. After cleansing your face, you can massage some ice cubes on it. To prevent the damaging and chemical colors from penetrating your skin and causing rashes, carry out this for at least 15 minutes. Use sun protection. Outdoor Holi festivities are often preferred by people. The loss of moisture from your skin might occur if it is constantly exposed to the sun, color and water.
Your skin is already going to be compromised, and you use colors, and that's going to make it worse. And even the retinol, which we normally use, for anti-aging product or for anything, the retinol also you should stop for 3 days prior to you start using the colors. And the rest, you use that. Sunscreen is a must. Full sleeve clothes. Wear nice sunglasses to protect your eyes.
Drink lots of water. Forgetting to stay hydrated is a common error. Consuming enough water to cause salivation is important. This keeps your skin hydrated. In order to give you antioxidants to combat the free radicals produced by the chemical colors, try to consume foods high in vitamin C and collagen. Oiling your hair and skin is extremely important. Furthermore, certain organic oils naturally have the ability to wonderfully alleviate the skin sensitivities. Several organic oils have the ability to magically treat skin sensitivities and acne. First of all, even before playing Holi, you must ensure you've oiled your hair and your exposed parts completely. This is going to ensure that the color does not stick to the skin.
Coconut oil is good, it's light, it's good. And actually, after you play Holi, don't go and have a shower immediately. It's not going to help. So if it is powder, dry colors, you can just dust it off. But still, of course, the dry colors also can leave a stain. So you use an oil, a coconut oil, because most of the colors, they are fat soluble. So if they are fat soluble, apply it all over your body. And then you wipe it off with a soft cloth or maybe with a towel, then you have a shower. And your shower should be with any soap you use, and again hydrate yourself, and that's all.
A blend of 1 teaspoon each of organic coconut oil and organic almond might work. Don't forget to moisturize your skin well with a hydrating moisturizer when you're done with cleaning. While cleaning, use warm water. Don't rub your skin. Use homemade face and hair mask. To get rid of the chemical colors, use natural facial mask or cleansers would be beneficial. Ingredients like sandalwood, rose water and turmeric can be used. How does one also avoid acne after playing Holi?
Acne is, you are already prone to acne. You may not develop acne because of Holi, but if you have acne, you can have an aggravation. So during Holi, you have to take care of your skin, and that is, you are already taking care of your skin as advised by a doctor who is helping you to manage your acne. And the products which you are going to use should be non-comedogenic. That means they do not allow the comedones. Comedones are what in day-to-day life we call as whiteheads and blackheads. So you'd wash your face, you use the moisturizer as advised by your doctor, and you can stop retinol for maybe 1-2 days, because you're going out in the sun, and use the sunscreen which is as advised by your doctor. It should be non-comedogenic.
The Holi festival not only makes everyone feels festive, but it also gives you fun opportunity to play with colors according to your heart's delight. But those artificial inorganic colors can cause dryness and irritation. Well, I'm not trying to be a bummer here. So, when you can prepare your day well in advance, why compromise on the enjoyable parts? it's a good idea to talk about how to prep up your hair and skin well in advance. Use organic colors that wash off instantly whenever possible. Be safe. Happy Holi. With video journalist Krishan Kumar, this is Kshitija Gosavi for India Today.
We all love to play Holi, but look at the colors available in the market right now, laden with toxic chemicals. And that's the reason why many people nowadays opt for organic colors. Now, if you want to just do this right, there are things that you can do at home as well. These are some tips for DIY. Do it yourself. Make these colors at home and have a blast. For yellow, mix turmeric powder with gram flour in a 1:2 ratio to make a dry gulal. You can also crush any yellow colored flowers and combine them in water to obtain wet colors. What about red color? How can you really make red color at home? Red can be prepared using dried red hibiscus flowers. Take properly dried hibiscus or China rose flowers, grate them into a fine powder. Red sandalwood also can be used instead of flowers. Green gulal can be made using henna or mehendi powder. For wet color, you can use any green leafy vegetables as well, such as spinach or neem. The leaves, when dipped in water, will give a beautiful green color. Magenta. Beetroot is a good source of red-pink pigment. You can also soak sliced beetroot in water, boil the mixture, and leave it overnight to use it the next day. Go ahead, make your colors at home. Colors laden with chemicals can just get into your eyes and your respiratory system during this time and ruin all your fun. And that's the reason why we spoke to a couple of experts to get a sense of how you can protect your eyes and your respiratory system without compromising on all the fun. Take a look.
Traditionally and originally, Holi is meant to be played with flower petals. But things have changed now, and the festival is associated with dangers as much as it is with fun and games, courtesy the chemical-laden colors we find in markets. Well, even if you choose organic colors, mishaps are possible during this time. For example, it's easy to get your eyes hurt, and also you do stand a risk of colors getting into your throat and mouth.
So colors basically are chemicals, and chemicals can be harmful for the eyes, especially the toxic ones, and they can have heavy metals. So if they go into the eyes, they can cause conjunctivitis, allergic reactions, and even inflammation in the eyes. So they should definitely be avoided or prevented from going inside the eyes.
So here are the things you must do to prevent these mishaps. Protect your eyes by wearing sunglasses. Close your eyes when someone smears colors into your eyes. Never keep your eyes exposed to colors. Ditch your lenses for that day. Use drops to lubricate your eyes.
So immediately you should wash with clean, fresh water and keep on washing till you feel the color has gone out of the eye. And if you have any lubricating eye drops, that is what you should put. And you should never rub the eyes, of course. And if it's still irritating or any redness is there, you should need to go to an ophthalmologist immediately.
Colors being sold in the market may contain hazardous chemicals such as asbestos, mercury, silica, mica, and lead. These are very toxic to the skin and eyes and can lead to symptoms such as irritation, redness, and allergies. It's best to consult a doctor if the color gets into your eyes. Another worry is color getting into your throat and then into your lungs and causing severe allergies.
So this is a very difficult subject, in the sense that everybody wants to play Holi, but if they ingest the colors, anyone who's an asthmatic or who has allergies, it becomes much worse. For people who ingest the water wala colors, that is also a problem because that can have certain chemicals in it that can affect the lungs and it can lead to respiratory problems, whether it's upper respiratory or lower respiratory.
Patients with asthma or other respiratory conditions should wear a mask or scarf around their faces when playing Holi. You should ensure that the nose and the mouth are covered and that the material is breathable.
So the main thing is ki muh band rakho. Don't open your mouth when you're playing Holi. A good idea would be to put a little cotton in the ears when you go to play. As far as possible, try and play with the dry colors because the wet colors can be a little more harmful. Also, sometimes they use metallic paint, in the colors. Depends where you get it from. It's not always natural colors which are used. So that can be very dangerous, not only to the ears and the chest, also to the skin. It can give you problems.
People who have asthma and respiratory allergies are more susceptible to difficulties and attacks during Holi. This is both because of the weather and Holi as a festival. Holi happens during the harvest season and at a time when winter is giving way to summer. So many trees and plants release pollen. Carry your inhalers if you have asthma. Stay indoors as much as possible during this time. Prior to an attack, a person can experience tightness in the chest, breathlessness, wheezing, coughing, and low oxygen levels. Prevent colors from getting into your ears often. This is what doctors say. It is totally possible to have a blast without any mishap, and that is what would really make Holi memorable.
It's time for a quick commercial break here. Much more news on fun, fervor, color, and also safety on the other side.
An FIR has been registered against Gauri Khan in Lucknow by Jaswant Sinha, a resident of Mumbai, who alleged that the company of which Gauri was the brand ambassador failed to give possession of a flat despite charging 86 lakhs. In his complaint, Shah alleged that he bought the flat after being influenced by brand ambassador Gauri Khan.
और पटाखे भी लाएगा.
This comes at a time when Shah Rukh Khan is basking in the success of his recent blockbuster Pathaan. Shah Rukh Khan, Deepika Padukone and John Abraham's spy thriller recently crossed the coveted 1,000 crore mark at the worldwide box office.
Pathaan, the hunter, hunted.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Well, can you even think of Holi without gujiyas and bhang? Well, certainly we can't. And that's the reason why we want to tell you on what you should be doing after indulging in all of these goodies. Essentially, moderation is the key. But after Holi, you must detox. Here's how.
Holi is all about letting your hair down.
Sweets, bhang, masti and floric means problems the next day. Imagine being sloshed and having to turn up at work the next day. To get over from the after effects of the celebration and to slip into normal routine, here is what you must do.
Lots of fried food and sugar on Holi day. Well, a lot of people like me gorge into gujiyas even before the actual festival. So let the next day be about fiber and simple homemade food.
Munch on nuts and fresh fruit.
So during Holi, it's a festival. It's a big festival for Indians. So a lot of lip smacking food is being prepared. Dishes are prepared like sweets, gujia, and then your malpua, puran puli. So they are high in calories. So it's important that one should eat moderation, not a very high calorie diet, not too much of sweets, not too much of ghee, butter or something like that which is high in calories. Otherwise, you know that people will get on with the weight.
We overindulge in junk food consumption during Holi. We must start consuming fresh fruits and dry fruits to restore balance to our unhealthy eating. Antioxidants, protein and healthy minerals are abundant in these foods. In order to always have them on hand when you want to snack, it is best to keep them handy in a container.
So a lot of fluids, because in Holi, a lot of dehydration happens. So you have to rehydrate. You have to hydrate yourself too. So you should have a sip of water or a coconut water or juices. A lot of fluids has to be taken so that you don't get into dehydration.
Hydrate yourself. If you frequently consumed alcoholic beverages while at the festival, be aware that doing so causes your body to get dehydrated. Dehydration and sugary foods together may cause additional problems. After Holi, make sure you drink enough water. Yogurt and paneer are examples of probiotic foods that you can include in your diet. You can also switch to consuming fresh juices if you don't enjoy eating fresh fruits. These liquids can replenish all the energy you expended playing Holi. Also, the biggest problem we deal with is getting over a hangover.
During Holi, one should maintain a calorie-based diet. It should not be too high calories. You should have a lot of fibers, fruits, and not your sweets, which is usually being taken during Holi. So you have to see that you eat in a moderation. So in the breakfast, you can have light diet like oat smoothie or something like that. And in the lunch, you can have fruits, salads and other things, etc., which can be included in your diet. Even makhana kheer, which is also low in calories, which can be included.
How does one do that right? Other tips are exercise. Working out will help your heart beat faster and improve the amount of oxygen and nutrients that reach your cells in your blood. Muscle cramps and fatigue are elevated by exercise. Exercise also causes the production of endorphin and the happy hormone, which help combat the effects of post-festival blues. Also, plentiful sleep and rest will revitalize the complete system. With Kshitija Gosavi, Bureau Report, India Today.
Holi festivities can be completely ruined if your children are bullied or get hurt during this period. And that's the reason why we spoke to experts on what to do to help your children enjoy this festival to the fullest without compromising on their safety and security.
Holi is the time to let your hair down. And why should it be any different for kids? A little precaution will go a long way in making the festival enjoyable for everyone, kids included. Experts say there are dangers associated with using balloons, and kids should be encouraged to use pichkaris instead. Balloons can cause serious injuries to the eyes, ears and skin when thrown with force. especially on children.
Kids may use whatever they want to, it's a joyous occasion, but they need to be given instructions on what is safe and what is not. So if they use water balloons and throw it on people randomly, they should know that they can cause a lot of harm and injury and pain. So not from the rooftop onto people who are driving or on, strangers, because it can hurt them. And if at all they have to use the balloons, they should not aim it anywhere near the head. No eyes, no mouth, no ear, because they can get injured. If at all, on the back is the safest. But yeah, better not to use the water balloons. Use the pitchkaris. They're much safer. Or just use a mug of water. That's more fun.
The skin of kids is way more delicate than ours, and applying virgin coconut oil all over their bodies will help removing the colors later. The night before Holi, you should oil your children's hair thoroughly. You should repeat this procedure in the morning as well. Children with long hair should tie them before playing Holi. They must also wear a scarf on their heads as a precaution. It's recommended that your child wear long pants and a full-sleeved shirt to avoid exposing his or her skin to colors as much as possible. Kids being kids won't focus on anything but play, but you should not forget to keep them hydrated.
Children should be hydrated at all times, so they have to be reminded that they need to drink, because when they're playing, they just forget everything. So keep calling them over, give them a glass of water, give them some nimbu pani, give them some fresh juice. Just keep reminding them that they have to drink, because, as I said, they're just going to keep forgetting about that. That's all. Just make sure they're hydrated well.
Your child should be instructed to use the pitchkaris in a manner that does not harm other children. Ask them to avoid spraying water on others' faces, their eyes, or in their ears. This is important to avoid any potential health issues like ear infections, eye irritation, or skin irritation that could result from getting water in the eyes, ears, and face. Protecting the eyes by wearing sunglasses, using only organic colors are some other precautions to be taken. Most importantly, be prepared for any contingency.
It's a good idea to have contingency plans. Forewarned is forearmed. The parents should have the pediatrician's number on their mobile. They should identify the closest hospital if they need to go for themselves or for the child. Have a very basic emergency kit in hand, like a betadine lotion to clean any injury, a paracetamol for any pain, band-aids. Keep an anti-allergic, whichever they're comfortable with, like an Allegra or a levocetrazine. Keep some gauze to clean up. Keep a bucket of water, clean water ready in case there's powder in the eyes, so that they can clean up the eyes. And basically hope for the best, hope they never need it.
With Sneha Modani in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
Lastly, what's fun for you during Holi is not fun for your pets. And that's the reason why we put together these details for you to get a sense of what you can do to keep your pets safe during the time when you are having the maximum fun during Holi. If your dog is scared of loud noises or crowds, it is best to take him out on a walk early morning on Holi or late at night. Ensure after Holi that they are not licking anything from the ground. They're not licking colors and they're not licking anything that they're not supposed to be licking. When there are guests home, give your dog some space. They need it. Chewing is a relaxing, stress-releasing activity for dogs that also releases endorphins. You can give your dog yak milk chews, frozen carrots or slices of de-seeded apple to chew on, especially if they appear stressed. Do not, absolutely, you must not allow anybody to use colors on your animals. It can be deadly for them. Spraying your dog with watercolor or balloons at this time is very risky. The color can cause skin allergens and infections, and if ingested, can be toxic for our pets. Lastly, do not share any sweets or any food with your dog that is not meant for your pet. Well, that brings us to the end of this edition of Health 360. We hope you enjoyed watching the show as much as we did, putting it together for you. We also hope that you find some of these tips useful during this time. From the entire team of India Today, thank you so much for watching. Have a safe and happy Holi.
Karnataka is the only southern state where the Bharatiya Janata Party has ever formed a government. But Karnataka is doubly special for the BJP because Karnataka is the first state where the party formed in 1980 first got the taste of power as the ruler. And if there was one man who played a very crucial role in establishing the BJP in this state, then it had to be B.S. Yedurappa or BSY, a seasoned and wily politician who would come up with a much discussed political strategy called Operation Lotus. It is no wonder then that every time that the BJP formed a government in Karnataka, it was BSY who became the chief minister till 2021. 4 times the BJP staked its claim to govern Karnataka, and 4 times BSY took the chief minister's oath of office. And 4 times BSY had to resign before he could complete his term. Twice Chief Minister Yedurappa resigned because the BJP could not ensure the confidence of the House. Ironically, the remaining 2 times, Yedurappa had to resign because he himself lost the confidence of the BJP. It was on 26th of July 2021 that 4-time Karnataka Chief Minister announced his resignation. 5 decades in politics, 2 days to 3 years at any one time in the Chief Minister's chair. Many thought that was the end of B.S. Yedurappa. But then on 22nd Feb, when the veteran saffron leader stood up in the Bidhan Sauda and announced that he intends to make it his last speech in the assembly, everyone was stunned. From the speaker to attending meager MLA audience urged him to reconsider the decision and pushed his retirement announcement by a couple of more days. On 24th of Feb at a houseful Bidhan Sauda, Bukanakare Siddhalingappa Yedurappa announced his retirement from the assembly. His assembly seat of Shikaripura will now go to his son Vijayendra. But that's not the end of the mighty BSY. With this, the 80-year-old shrewd politician of 5 decades have played a master stroke. He has the central leadership at his beck and call and the state leadership looking for his approval. Because the winning card for BJP in the coming assembly election in Karnataka lies with the Lingayat leader alone. And that very card makes him the Lotus King of Karnataka.
It's lights, camera, action on the biggest poll battle of 2023. And the BJP is doing everything they can to retain power in Karnataka. The double engine of Karnataka Congress, DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah, are doing everything they can to oust the BJP. But wait. Haven't we forgotten something? The JDS, aka the Kingmaker. Welcome to the State of War Karnataka.
Hello and welcome to the Mobile World Congress here in Barcelona. Yes, this is how we'd ideally be wanting to get around here at this iconic event. I'm at one of the booths, which has been quite a crowd puller, with this VR chopper. It looks great from the outside, but it's a nice little VR experience on the inside. But there's a lot more happening on the show. Of course, we're talking about how 6G is the conversation here at Mobile World Congress. Also connected devices, ecosystems, and of course the metaverse and the buzzword of 2023, artificial intelligence. All that and a lot more on this Tech Today special from Barcelona. I'm your host Ayush Alavadi saying, let's get started. Well, this is an ordinary phone. This is what phones and devices of the future are going to look like. Rollable tech. A proof of concept here at the Lenovo Motorola stand. Of course, we've seen all sorts of foldables on the show, but you can see how that display is rolling right in front of your eyes. And it's happening here with their tablet and keyboard concept as well. I think it's absolutely crazy. We'll get you more on the show about how this tech works. But for now, this is the first look from Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. Lenovo's rollable tech in all its splendor. The Motorola Riser concept that we hope will soon be a reality. What makes this phone really special is the minute you give it a double tap on that side, the rollable display now expands to this. Tap it twice again. And like that, just like magic, it's back to this traditional form. Now, there's a lot of use cases for something like this. I think rollable displays are something which will work in the future. We've seen how foldables are really hotting up as a space, even in India and on Tech Today. We've seen the Oppo Find N2 Flip and the Samsung Galaxy Flip 4, the Fold. There's all sorts of devices here at the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, but we have this concept phone in the flesh on Tech Today. There's also a few other things that this phone can do. For instance, if you flick it twice like this, and now it's just, well, the rear camera, and I want to suddenly start using the front camera. There you go, I flick it again, and here's the front camera. And if you notice, when I did that, this display was untouched. It rolled further out there, the camera is revealed, as is the earpiece. You flick it back again, and there you go. Almost seamlessly, very, very smooth output. I think they've done a fantastic job. Given this is a concept phone, we can only hope that the other booths are actually watching this with bated breath and learning a thing or two from Motorola. Look, Motorola got it right with the Razr phones back in the day. They really were the talk of the town with their flip devices. And now, with this, the Riser concept, I think they're on to something special. Obviously, this is just a concept phone. A lot of things will change. For instance, what is this display at the back going to be used for? Because this is also part of this particular device. What kind of cameras will you put in it? What chipset will be in it? All these things would be decided in due course, in due time. But this, for now, double tap and enjoy this concept phone, which really might just be a thing of the future. This literally is Motorola's back to the future moment, and we're really impressed on Tech Today. We're here at the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, and I have with me the OnePlus 11 concept phone. Now, it uses a new sort of tech. It's called active cryoflux. It's an active mechanism that is used in gaming PCs to actually liquid cool the phones. Your phones get hot when you're gaming, and that seems to be the future. Even with OnePlus's R&D team, they think a lot of the gaming that we are doing even in India is going to move to smartphones. And that's why you want your phone cooled and charging in record time. And if it looks good while all of that is happening, well then it's not bad news either, right? It's got this LED backlight over here, indicative of how the phone is using liquid cooling tech to ensure that the battery well charges in record time and stays cool while you're playing the next Battle Royale game. You know when you end up watching a 3D movie and you have to put those glasses on, and a lot of people complain of a splitting headache. What if I told you that there's now the world's first eyewear-free 3D tablet technology? A company called ZTE is making this in China with Nubia. It's the ZTE Nubia Pad 3D, the world's first AI-powered eyewear-free 3D tablet. And I'll tell you how they do it. They do it using AI with these cameras. It's always good to cover good tech, and I think this is very interesting. I'll tell you how the output is. Well, the minute you put any content on this particular tablet, you hit play, and even if it's in 2D, and you take a normal file, hit 3D, it processes in a matter of seconds, and then you have, at this angle only, a fully 3D movie. How is it making it happen? Maybe you don't see it from this angle, but you see it from this angle, and that's your normal viewing angle with one face right here with facial recognition. These two cameras are making the magic happen, so to speak. They also have a similar light field technology at the back if you want to use this to shoot content. That same technology exists at the back as well. That's not just for videos like this. What if you want to shoot a 3D photo? Well, this is the world's first AI-powered 3D tablet, and you can do that as well. Go on the Leica cam, switch over the camera, and we'll show you me and my camera crew right here, and you can take a video or a 3D photo. Now, I don't know how much of it you can see, but it is quite fascinating that this sort of product is now here at the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. Also, although this is, well, a China product, it does ship globally. So come April, you'll be able to order this anywhere around the world. The world's first 3D eyewear-free tablet. Interesting? Let me know. Well, speaking of showstoppers here at the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, I made a new friend, 177 centimeters tall. That's actually shorter than me, but he's standing on a pedestal. The Cyber One, a humanoid robot from Xiaomi. Comes along with the Cyber Dog right over there, a quadruped which can do quite a few neat tricks. But speaking about the Cyber One, the humanoid, Xiaomi actually pipped Elon Musk and his tweets to making this humanoid robot which can recognize a bunch of expressions, emotions by human beings, has all sorts of AI and facial recognition tech inbuilt in it. But that's not all Xiaomi's working on. While this is a showstopper with everyone actually coming to the Xiaomi stall for this, this is what Xiaomi launched here in Barcelona. In fact, we were at the pre-launch event where we found out where this floating telephoto mechanism with this Leica lens, not just a gimmick, and I'll tell you more about that in a bit, but co-engineered with Leica, not just like the other brands who essentially are talking about color science and just some small little marketing partnership. The team that actually worked on this partnership did have an exclusive conversation with Tech Today where we wanted to ask them what they are doing with this device. An absolutely stellar camera. You're going to see a review very soon, but here's a few camera samples on the screen. You have a nice, neat little watermark, and whilst I'm talking, you have Cyber Dog following me around. I think he's taken a liking for me. But that's not all. If you walk around the Xiaomi booth right over here, you see that they've been building on an ecosystem with a smart living room, a smart kitchen, and these are popular products all across the world. A smart workspace as well, something they've been talking about, barring all the special edition phones and some of these interesting Redmi devices as well, is actually their mobility or their smart outdoors department, where they've been speaking about an electric scooter. Now, this is something that I think can be a game changer when brands start working on this. in a wide-scale way in India, but we'll need regulations to figure out how e-scooters being shared will actually work out. I think it's fascinating what's happening in the tech world. This has been one of the show-stopping moments at the Mobile World Congress. And of course, we have my dear friend, the Cyber Dog, saying hello to all the viewers of Tech Today. Here's another big launch at the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, and we have it exclusively for you on Tech Today. Come May or June, this is most likely going to light up the market back home in India. And you're seeing it first, the Techno Phantom V Fold here in the flesh. And the price has been revealed, and that's really the showstopper. I'll tell you a little bit more about the specs of this device, but in terms of the price, at 79,999, under 80,000 rupees for early adopters. That would be the guys who essentially pre-book it. Just to give you some perspective, the only other fold that we've had on the show and in India is the Samsung Galaxy Fold. Costs, well, an entire bucket load more for a device which is essentially the same form factor. Very different camera module right here. Honestly, when you're holding it, it looks and feels as premium as any other device we've had from the foldable line. Now, we've shown you flip phones, we've shown you rollable phones here as well. And finally, we have a foldable launch here as well. A little bit more about the specs of the phone. You have a 5-lens camera system, a rear camera, a 50 megapixel main camera, 50 megapixel telephoto, a 13 megapixel wide angle, and a 32 megapixel front camera, sub-screen, main screen, 16 megapixel camera. Well, obviously, this is a foldable, so you can take a selfie like this. And if you don't like that camera, then you can always use this particular camera. And then you also have a camera right here. In terms of charging, it comes with a 5000 mAh battery, 45 watt supercharge. It's a 5G device, and most importantly, it comes with an interface, an OS which was built for foldables only. 256 or 512 gigs of storage. In terms of the RAM, you can add 9 gigs more of virtual RAM and hope. And we really expect this to be a snappy one. It comes with obviously paddle window like the Flex mode on the Samsung, split screen, all sorts of things on this one device. And of course, it comes with a MediaTek Dimensity 9000 Plus. Now that's different from the Samsung Galaxy Fold, which of course comes with the Snapdragon 8 series chipset. But this is an interesting launch for the Indian market. And come May, April and May, and maybe before that, we will give you exclusive access to this foldable. But first, this is the first time you're seeing this on Tech Today. This is paradise for a tech geek. The Lucid Air here at the Mobile World Congress. A very good looking car. 0 to 100 in under 2.7 seconds. 1,111 horsepower. Nearly $150,000 in the US. We haven't seen this back home. But if you speak to Lucid, they're not comparing it to the Tesla, interestingly. They talk about comparing it to the EQS or even more premium cars out there in the market. But here's an exclusive first look of the Lucid Air at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. There's a lot of things happening here at the Congress. EVs, not too many. We've seen a Tesla. There's one parked right over there as well. And then, of course, you have a Lucid here as well. There's more EVs at the Auto Expo and, of course, at CES Las Vegas. But, of course, technology, EVs, it's all one big bucket. And, of course, you get all that coverage on Tech Today. And when we do take that out for a drive, and maybe we'll get you exclusive visuals very soon, you might need to take a break, strap up, put your seatbelt on, and be prepared for it. And I'll tell you how I want to exit this particular frame. Well, this is me at the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. And this also happens to be me at the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. And off I go.
India Today Conclave 2023, March 17th and 18th, New Delhi. Listen to S. Jaishankar, Shashi Tharoor, Justice U. Lalit, Justice Sharad Arvind Bobde, Sanjeev Goenka, Anil Agarwal. The India Moment.
stunningly beautiful and astonishingly fit. Actor and former model Miss Universe 1994, Sushmita Sen, shocked fans the world over after this announcement on a social media platform. She had suffered a heart attack, she said, and was well on the path of recovery. This announcement raising questions on how and why women are now having cardiac disease, a disease often associated with men.
Women are not immune from heart attacks. Women are as predisposed to heart attacks as males, especially when they cross their menopause, and when it's been 5 years down the line of menopause, then the risk of heart attack becomes equivalent in both males and females. There have been occasional cases of females in their late 20s, early 30s who are pregnant and who have come with heart attack, and that occurs there sometimes due to spontaneous dissection in the coronary arteries. And but that is the incidence of that is quite less.
In fact, the burden of cardiac arrest is huge when it comes to women, says the Global Burden of Disease report. Cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death for women globally, accounting for 35% of deaths among women globally. In fact, studies show female smokers below 50 had more than 13 times higher risk of heart attack compared to women of the same age who did not smoke. And there are risk factors. Smoking, for instance, is a huge risk factor. Risk of heart attack among women who smoke is increased 5-fold. The longer the duration, the greater the risk. So is hypertension.
Women after the age of 45 years is equally, they are prone for heart attack as compared to men, and less than 45-year female, if they smoke, if they don't follow the lifestyle regime, the risk is as good as a male.
Heart disease risk factors for women include diabetes, emotional stress and depression, inactivity, menopause, pregnancy complications, inflammatory diseases, and family history of heart disease. Also, why are those visibly fit developing an unhealthy heart?
This is a fact that anybody, if he gets heart attack, he or she is not a healthy individual. The symptoms may not occur maybe because of diabetes, maybe because of some other reasons, but the heart problems starts since very long, and slowly they progresses, and eventually they culminate into the heart attacks. And if the individual has heart disease, because of the family history, that is well accepted.
Symptoms of a heart attack in women is very different from what we see in men. Sometimes they can be vague. For example, neck and jaw pain, upper back pain, shortness of breath, pain in both the arms, nausea, sweating, dizziness, fatigue, and also heartburn. These are symptoms often seen in women who are in a heart attack. In New Delhi, Sneha Mordani for India Today.
After Ukraine war began, Vishwaguru India shows the way. Antony Blinken speaks exclusively to India Today. Watch all these and more at these times only on India Today.
You know, some of the biggest conversations in the world of technology start here at the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. And the change makers, the thought leaders are all here under one roof in the heart of Barcelona. One of them is here with me, Rajan Vagaria. Sir, thank you so much for joining us. Nice being you again. It's always a pleasure to have him on the show, but a lot of the conversations that start here, like I said, end up dictating the future of technology for the years to come. A couple of years was subdued here at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona for obvious reasons. It's back with a bang. The last time we met and the last time conversations were happening here was all about 5G. Now, I hear a lot of murmurs of 6G as well. Do you think where we are placed in India and your understanding of the Asia and the India business, are we ready for that transition? We've just gotten into deployment of 5G. Where does the